And cool. And we are live. And now I know this mic is super sensitive. So I decided to kind of put it upwards so it won't capture all this extra shit. So let me just take a look here. Why does everybody want to do a space when I've clearly stated that I wanted to do a space? I don't understand this. Okay. Let me just let him know. We have a guest, actually. I sent an invite. Cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, what's going on? We have a guest coming on, but I'm just waiting for him to show up here. I know a lot of people are kind of wondering. Oh, he's there. Let me just invite him. Invite. So welcome to the No Filter podcast. Just to let you know, as a disclosure, we are recording live on YouTube. So if you do not want your voice to be shared, this can't work. What's going on, Cody?
Hey man, how you doing?
Is that your name? Is it really Cody?
No, it's not.
Smart man.
But yeah, man. So what's up? How's it going?
It is going well. It's going well, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I ate something horrible. It messed me up for 2 days. I was jacked up, absolutely jacked up, man. And and it's exhausting, to be honest. It's my stomach was all over the place. But other than that, I'm yeah, this shit ain't cool. Other than that, I am good. I am well. What you got going on for today?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling, enjoying the weekend, playing some games. Shit.
I hear you typing on that keyboard. I see.
No. I was actually playing on a fight stick.
What game you play? What fighting game you play?
Marvel vs. Capcom. It's like my jam.
Which one?
Just playing Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 these days.
Oh, got you. I've been trying to get into fighting games. Years ago, I was good with like every fighting game I play. Nobody wants to play it. It's so fucking annoying. I was a big Soul Calibur fan. It was great. Nobody wanted to get into that one. Guilty Gear. I've been doing that. Nobody wants to get into that shit. It's fucking annoying. But without further ado, I don't want to hold you up or anything like that. I do want to ask you a few questions. I kind of want to pick your brain a little bit. We have 2 topics. You definitely do not have to stay. For the 2 topics, I just wanted to kind of see what's going on here. So we have 2 topics that we are going to be talking about, which is the first one. What's the point of a PS5? A lot of people would think that's an inflammatory conversation to have, but I just wanted to make people aware that it's a real question nowadays that people are asking themselves. It's like, if Sony is basically putting these games out on PC, what will be the point of a PS5? And then the second topic, which again you don't have to stay for, a friend actually brought this to my attention. He believes that PlayStation is going to make a launcher, a PSN launcher for PC, and I'm like, I don't know if that'll fucking work. To be honest with you, I don't think that that's really going to happen. Not in the way that people think is going to happen, but it is what it is. But firstly, I'm looking to build a monster computer. I have a pretty decent laptop or whatever the case is, so let's start there, right? First and foremost, visuals. What kind of monitor do you have?
I'm using a LG OLED TV.
All right, so you're using a TV.
Yeah, I'm using a TV as a monitor. I basically got this for my PS5, but it's like a really good display, so you can also use it as a monitor. So that's what I'm going with. I mean, it looks really good, and it's got like all the bells and whistles. It's got like a 120 FPS mode. It's got VRR in it, so it's a pretty dope display.
What were you using prior to?
Nothing, man. I mean, I got this TV and then I got built the PC because I was using a laptop before that. But that was just for
Oh,
some
okay,
casual shit.
okay. And when were you? I don't want to use my screen. I mean, I've been gaming for fucking years, for a couple of decades. So I'm not really susceptible to the stuff that you are susceptible to, such as like high frame rate and whatnot. That's for starters. Like I can deal with pretty low frame rates, not because I'm a console player and don't have no money. It's literally just it never affected me. I can see it; it just doesn't bother me. But that being said, here's where things will start to get interesting. You mentioned before that you bought a laptop, or you had a laptop. What were you gaming on this laptop?
Nothing, man. I just used to play like I was into Call of Duty, so I used to play like COD on it, and just like some Team Fortress, and some like Left 4 Dead, like first-person shooters. I used to like connect the mouse in it and like just like casual stuff.
Nice.
It wasn't very good, so I couldn't like play like really demanding games on it.
Okay, so
So yeah,
what was the laptop? Do you know what the specs were?
I don't know, man. It's just like some HP shit. Like it had like an i5 processor in it, Intel.
Okay, so like kind of like standard grade shit.
Yeah, standard, pretty standard. I had it for my university, and so I started using it for a little bit of gaming as well. I mean, I had a console. I had like an Xbox 360 at the time and a PS3. So I used to do most of my gaming on the consoles, but just to try it out and see what PC gaming is all about. So I tried it, played on it a little bit,
and liked it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, go on.
yeah, but like that was just like some casual gaming. I started like thinking about building a PC about like 4 years ago, but it was like too expensive. So I was like, I was putting it off. I was like thinking, is it worth it? Do I really want to spend that much on a high end PC rig? I mean, compared to consoles, it's like 3 times, 4 times the cost of buying building a PC.
That's still
But yeah, then I like.
Does that still ring true?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you look at it like from that perspective, it's going to cost you like 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
Like not like 5 times, but like I think to build a decent like really good PC, you need about like $2,000, which is like what 4 times the cost of a PlayStation 5.
Okay. All right. Why did you buy a PS5? What was the alluring reasoning for buying a PS5?
I mean, man, I like the PlayStation exclusives, but that's the main reason I wanted to get a PS5.
What's your favorite one?
Plus, man, I like all of them. God of War was nice. Last of Us, Uncharted, Spider-Man, all these games.
Okay.
The first party stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So you bought a PC first or a PlayStation first in this span of almost 2 years? What was the one that you first bought? Like the one that you were serious with?
Yeah, I got the PlayStation 5 first.
And so the PlayStation 5 kind of made you hungry for specs, it seems. Is that accurate?
No, you know what? I actually wanted to build a PC, but I was just waiting for the 3000 series cards, the ones which are like the current gen cards, right? So they launched and they were like, I couldn't find them anywhere, and they were like getting scalped, and then the whole mining boom started. So I had to like delay my PC purchase. Otherwise, I probably would have gotten the PC first. So I couldn't get find the graphics card. So I just like I was like I don't know what to do with, so I just got a PS5.
And what were your first impressions of the PS5?
PS5 was pretty good. I liked it. Coming up from like a PS4, a standard PS4, it was like pretty good. and I was happy about the like 60 frames per second on like the PS4 games. So yeah, that I was like really excited about that. So I like played, tried like what's it called, Infamous Second Son.
Mm.
I played that, and I played Days Gone. I tried a little bit of God of War at 60 frames per second. Yeah.
So almost just a few more questions here. Now, listening to what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
telling me about your just kind of like your history with just gaming on PC, because it looks like you already had a handle on it, just not a powerful one, which is
Mm,
that's that I tried a little bit of it. I wasn't really a fan of it. I kind of don't. I mean, I know this is the same rhetoric that you hear all the time. I just don't want to be bothered. I don't like going through Windows.
yeah.
I truly don't. I don't like Windows. I've never liked
Mm-hmm.
Windows, or anything like it. So that being said, what are some of the cons of the PlayStation 5? What are some things that you feel like it could do for some improvement?
PlayStation 5 or the
Mm-hmm.
PC?
PS5. I'm gonna get to a PC in a second.
Okay. I think like the con with PS5 is like with any other console is like it's a very closed platform.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do anything what Sony doesn't want you to do. Like on the PC side, although I didn't get the PC for these things, but it's got like modding, it's got emulation, which the emulation scene is pretty good on PC. So these sort of things you can do a lot of shit on PC that you can't do on the PS5. It's just there for playing games. Okay, just put in like download a game or put in a CD and like just play a game. So with the PC, there's like it's got you can like modify it, you can like upgrade it. Upgrading is like a little another big factor for me because with console you're just stuck with whatever hardware the manufacturer put it in. Like the PS4 came out in what like 2013, 2012. So like for 8, 9 years, if you don't like upgrade, if you didn't upgrade to a pro model, you were stuck with whatever CPU, GPU they put in there. And like these components are not high end. When they launch the console launches compared to the PC space, they're like mid level components. So like after 7 years past, like that hardware is like really
You're
like
struggling.
like it really limits. Yeah, struggling bad. And like you were getting 60 frames per second.
I think you're muted. Hello. Hello.
Oh,
You're,
hey,
oh, there
sorry.
you go. There you go. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So right now, I mean, like we're getting 60 frames per second games, or like games have 60 frames per second modes on consoles right now. But like after 2, 3 years, when like devs start pushing the hardware and we like start releasing more graphically demanding games, so you're going to be stuck with 30 frames per second again on consoles. And that was a big issue for me that I do not want to play games at 30 frames per second.
Okay.
So this
Now,
is this is I think the biggest con for PS5 for me.
performance is the biggest con.
Yeah, the
Okay.
weak hardware. Like
That makes sense. When you had your laptop, and what was your top game that you were playing on your laptop?
yeah, I was like mostly playing like shooters and like Left 4 Dead 2. I played that
No,
a
no,
lot.
just one game that's what your absolute favorite.
I mean, back in the day, we used to play. This was like way before the laptop. I used to play Medal of Honor. I used to like that game a lot. Used to have like LAN parties on it on that shit.
What about the
It was pretty
laptop?
cool.
What was your favorite thing on the laptop?
Laptop probably Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what kind of like you said that your computer wasn't like that meaty? What
Yeah,
frame
yeah.
rate were you trying to get it up to?
I don't remember, dude. At that time, I wasn't like I was like into console gaming, so I didn't care about frame rates and shit. I mean, like as long as it was playable, it was fine. At that time, I didn't know much about this sort of thing. So I was like fine with whatever I was getting, as long as it wasn't like too slow and I was like able to play it. Like.
So before we go on to like the PC talk here, what uh made you get that taste for high frame rate? What was the thing that made you be like, you know what, I can't deal with this right now?
I don't know, man. I think it's like watching like internet videos and like going on forums and stuff like that, and like just experiencing 30 frames per second games and being like, man, I'm like, you had some like 60 frames per second games which felt like really smooth on the PS4, and then going from those to like, I remember back in the day I was like playing Doom 2016,
Hmm.
and that game like ran like like really good on the on
It
PS4.
looked good and it fucking ran
Yeah,
smooth.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was like amazing. So I was playing that game, and like from that game I went to Fallout 4. Remember Fallout 4?
Hmm.
So yeah,
So at that point in time, you're like, nah, this isn't gonna work.
yeah, exactly. I turned off the and I started off like Fallout 4, and they're both like first person, right? So I mean the difference was like immediately visible, and I was like, dude, I cannot deal with this, man. I can't play this crap.
and
So like
one looks better and it performs better. So it's like, what's the
yeah,
deal?
yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, like night and day difference, man. I mean, I get it. Like Fallout 4 is like an open world. It's like an RPG, but still, like yeah, it's like felt sluggish and like yeah, not good.
Okay. So going on to, you made a statement on on Twitter. You stated that
Hmm.
the PlayStation 5 is kind of collecting dust. You do have a PS5, correct?
Yeah.
And you said that it was collecting dust.
Hmm.
Um, why?
Okay. So you know what? What happens with me is like what happened to me after I started gaming on the PC was like I started noticing like frame rates a lot
Hmm.
and resolution. Okay. So like for example, I was playing Dark Souls 3 on the PC, and I was running it at 120 frames per second, and it was on full 4K, right? I mean, it's an older game, but I mean, it's still good at 4K resolution. So from like going from Dark Souls 3 to Demon Souls, I mean, like Demon Souls is graphically a much better game, but the resolution downgrade was like, I could like tell it didn't like look as crisp as the Dark Souls. I mean, like, and like that's just one example. But I mean, playing games on PC, like for example, I tried Control, Control the game from Remedy.
Yeah, yeah. I thought to
Yeah,
beat that.
that yeah. So yeah, that came out with like PlayStation Plus, right? Like in January, like I don't know when the PS5 launched.
Yeah.
So I that game also I tried it on both on PC and console, and like there was a lot of difference, man.
What are the
The
difference that you
console.
noticed the most? Was it just the performance, or like, because here's the thing, when I speak to people about console gaming and versus PC gaming,
Mhm.
I understand that I totally understand that it's a better experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Mhm.
get it. I totally understand it. When people say it's a better experience, right? But here's an analogy, right? Um, if I have a car that has 300 horses, right? And then there's a car that has
Uh-huh.
315, it's like, yeah, I mean, by spec, yes, you know what I'm saying. And we're not talking about the frame, the resolution and stuff, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Cody, I could tell the resolution difference for Demon Souls, and I don't like it. I beat that game
Mhm.
with the 30 frames per second, and it felt a little sluggish. And I think it's because of the deferred renderer. It's very There's some input latency that is greatly
Mhm.
mitigated when you play it in 60, but the 1440p, like, I kept seeing people say, "Oh, I don't notice a difference." I'm like, bullshit, bullshit. I'm nearsighted with astigmatism. Maybe if they're sitting far away from the TV, possibly, and they got good vision,
Yeah.
but like, I sit relatively close to my TV, so like, absolutely not with that blurriness. Um,
So we could.
yeah.
So sorry about cutting you off, but what I want to say about this is like I sit pretty close because I'm gaming on a PC, so I sit pretty close to my TV. But even before that, when I was using the PS5, I used to sit on like 5 feet away from my TV, which is like the recommended distance viewing distance for like a 55-inch TV.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
So once you're like that close to a TV, like you can see a lot of shit which you can't see if you're like sitting way back, right?
You really,
So even like
yeah.
yeah, even if I go from like 2160p to like 1800p, I mean,
You can
like,
see it.
it's like I can clearly see it. Yeah, I can see it, and I like, the downgrade is like too much for me. I can't handle it. I'm like, dude, I'm not
I
playing it.
I like
I want like,
I like clarity. I honestly, I would always pick
yeah,
clarity. If you have a stable frame rate, and that's what I say. Like frame rate for me,
mhm.
like if I wanted to tonight, I can buy a $4,000 computer and be still cool. Like I
Mhm.
just don't want to do it. I truthfully,
Do it, man.
I don't want to
Do
do it.
it, do it.
I don't want to do it for a lot of
I would.
reasons. But when you say it's, and I'm gonna get into that too. When you say that the PS5 was collecting dust, it's because it's too many games that are not performant.
No, I think it's like basically down to the resolution and the performance. That's the main issue. If I was like able to play games at 4K 120 frames per second on a PS5, I mean, I would play. I probably wouldn't have bought even think about getting a PC. But
Now I get it.
so
You just
that's
started kind of really being super serious about PC gaming because prior to that you had a laptop which wasn't really that performant. Now, what game are you playing
mhm.
right now on the PC that's keeping you from your PS5? One
um,
game.
a lot. I can't say like any one game because I'm playing like a lot of different games. So like I'm playing Doom is like my favorite game. So I'm like replaying Doom 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like playing. Been playing Guardians of the Galaxy on Game Pass. That's pretty cool. And Scarlet Nexus is another one on Game Pass. I'm also playing that.
Is that free on
And it's
PC?
like a bunch of other old. Yeah, it's on Game
Is
Pass.
it free on PC?
No, it's on Game
Game
Pass.
Pass is not free.
No, I said, well, you know what I mean. Stop.
Yeah, yeah,
No, I
yeah.
Well, now you know what I'm saying is that is it offered in a service that you pay a monthly subscription in?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. But it's not free because you have to pay for the subscription,
So you
right?
say
But
you
yeah,
say yeah, you say it's on Game Pass, correct? So that being said, are you
yeah,
playing it on PC?
yeah. I'm playing on PC.
Okay, because I'm not sure the distinction between the console Game Pass and um the PC version of Game Pass. I wasn't sure of it. Um, now that I'm thinking, so are you running? Well, I know Doom, you can run that shit at 400 frames a second. I know that much. But
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was the other game again?
Guardians of the
What
Galaxy.
are you running that as?
Okay, so
'Cause I know
I'm
that that's a
running it
super
at like
unstable
four.
game when you start putting it up to
Yeah.
the higher frames.
Mhm. So I'm running it at like 4K, but I'm using DLSS. I'm not sure if you know what DLSS is. Are you aware of
I'm
it?
aware of it.
Okay, so yeah, I'm using quality DLSS mode
So
on 4K and
you get the
like
perception of 4K without it being 4K in the
yeah,
background. Okay.
yeah. It's basically I think it turns the resolution is actually 1800p, and then it uses like some machine learning and temporal upscaling. So yeah, it's like it's slightly downgraded from 4K, but it's much better than like 1800p or
No,
1440p.
no, no, no. People need to understand this. Deep learning super sampling 4K is better than actual 4K. Like, we're not gonna sit here and kind of downplay this shit.
In
Like that shit
in
is
certain
different.
circumstances, you get ghosting and shit like that. As of now,
Yeah,
so there's some
yeah.
things
There's
that are
some
pros and
artifacts.
cons, but in terms of the image quality, you can get a better output. No one's downplaying it, Jemiah. So
I think the way you said it was kind of
no,
downplayed. Let's be
no,
honest.
I'm explaining, or I'm basically trying to break it down for people that don't know what it is, because there's people are listening to it and they don't have PCs.
But I think I hate when people like to oversimplify what it's doing. That shit is so fucking
You
monumentally
have to
fucking like
oversimplify certain things
why?
because some people can't grasp the situation.
Well, they're let them be ignorant then.
Well,
Yeah,
that's something
so
I'm trying to do.
basically, like yeah, I mean, right, yeah, dude, you're right about what it basically is. But I mean, I think it's the best upscaling technology in the
It
business.
is.
And
It is.
like people say it's like magic. So, some games it looks better than native resolution. and like fixes all the issues with some temporal aliasing in some games. So I mean, it's really good, and I mean, you can't even like tell the difference between that and normal 4K. So yeah, so I'm using those settings. I'm using high ray tracing setting, and I'm getting about like 100 and around 100 frames per second.
So you're getting 4K
Yeah,
via DLSS and about 100
yeah,
frames per second. And
yeah,
because
100 frames per
you
second.
have
Yeah,
your LG OLED that kind of smooths over the experience, correct?
yeah.
What if they make a PlayStation 5 Pro that can give you those particular results? What would happen then? Would you sell? Would you get that one? And like you're playing these games, right? They're relatively older, or they're not
Yeah.
really kind of pushing like they're not like I mean as AAA as some other games. So I'll put it that well, not Doom, but um, Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the two games that you're playing now. Fine,
Mm-hmm.
but is there nothing on the PS5 that you're interested in?
I'm interested in the exclusive. I mean, I wanted to buy a Ratchet and Clank, and I wanted to get Horizon Forbidden West. But I mean, like the way Sony is going, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just wait. A year, 2 years, and I'll just play it when it comes out on PC.
Are you going to sell your
Because the
PS5?
thing is, probably not. I'm going to keep it in case like Sony releases Bloodborne and they do like some day and date shit. They don't do day and date on PC. Just keeping it for that.
So why
Probably.
not just pick up Horizon Forbidden West while you have it?
Okay, so I mean, like, these are great games, and I want like experience them in the best possible way I can. So after like gaming at like native 4K and 120 frames per second, the visual fidelity and the smoothness that like those high frame rates give you, the like really low latency, the like which you get. I mean, there's a night and day difference for me. I mean, I don't know how people say that they don't notice it, but for me, like it's like just sort of like spoiled me, and so there is like we have to wait. There's like a year, 2 year wait, but I'm willing to like just like stick with it and just wait for it to come to PC.
So
I mean, I could have bought it.
so
Yeah, I'm choosing to wait.
just a brief, and I'll let Jemiah talk. Look like you want to have something to say. So just a brief synopsis of what was going on. You had a PS3 in the Xbox 360. You did like some of the
Mhm.
exclusives, such as the God of War, and The Last of Us and stuff like that. Before, did you have a PS4?
Yeah, I had a
Okay,
PS4
so
and an Xbox
and the
One.
Xbox One. So you just like gaming.
Yeah,
You also
yeah.
gamed on PC as well, but you had a laptop that wasn't that performant. Which the games that you played on the laptop was like Medal of Honor, stuff, other shooters, and you stated that I mean it was what it was, and console gaming made it so that you kind of weren't really concerned with the performance of the PC. You just wanted to kind of have it with the modifications. Um, you ended up buying this LG OLED TV for your PS5 and ended up getting the PS5 first. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Once you had the PS5 first,
correct.
you were able to get some of the PC parts that you were waiting for, which you then built a a PC. What are the specs for the PC?
So I've got like a 3080 RTX 3080 graphics card, and I have a 5800X CPU AMD.
Okay,
Those are the basics, and I've got like a 1 terabyte SSD and like some other shit. 32 gigs RAM.
so a beefy ass computer. Understood.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Now, with that being said, and I pretty much your pros to having a PC is that, and again, for a person, for some people, they're gonna see that the console and PC space, right? Like I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned before, you may have a car that has 300 horses, and then there's another one that has 380, and that 380 horses for that particular car may not be worth that much. They may not have to. It may not be worth an extra $40,000. You know what I'm saying? So they may not see the cost per power to be valuable or viable in that particular
No,
case.
I don't think your analogy works here because I think like you're getting at least double the performance if you build a high-end PC compared to a PS5 right now. Like for
I mean
example, if you
visuals for the moment, because again, you could take a
yeah.
screenshot of something and be like, okay, cool. Like frame rate is a different type of spatial visual. I get that, but for the moment, I want to kind of focus on the actual because I'm PlayStation or
The image
yeah,
quality.
the image quality. Because if they do make a pro system, I wonder if they're going to focus on having high frame rates and having some sort of upscaling or reconstruction technique to kind of mitigate lowering the resolution, kind of like the DLSS. But for the image quality part, right? They may not see that it's not enough for them to pay 4 times the amount of a console. So, what are before I ask this, I have 2 questions for you, and we're cool. And thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. My 2 questions
Sure, man, no problem.
is I love having talks with technology and stuff like that. So my core question is this: what are the cons for having a PC?
Okay, I think the cons are it's a bit expensive. It's expensive to get into. It's like technically you need to be a little more like knowledgeable about it as compared to a console. Console is just like a plug and play type of shit, you know. Just plug the like the HDMI cable in your TV and you're good to go. With PC, it's like you have to learn a little bit, but I mean it's not that tough, you know. Like you could spend like 1 week, 2, 3 weeks just learning about stuff, and you'll be able to like build a pretty good PC. So I think price and like learning curve is I think the main cons for a PC.
Any kind of hit?
And the other
Oh
con
yeah, yeah. Go on. I'm sorry.
other con would be like not having like PlayStation first party like exclusives coming day and date on PC. I guess that could be a con for someone who's like really into like these Sony exclusives.
Okay. So just the content that's on PC versus what you would get on any kind of console at this point. The last question I have for you is: what is the purpose of a console, specifically the PS5?
Yeah, PS5 is a good console. I mean, like compared to PCs these days, this is like this gen. It's like pretty. It's got a good GPU and a good CPU compared to like the current market. So I mean, it's a pretty good gaming system.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, like it's like really closed off. Like you cannot mod games on it. There's no emulation in it. Okay, the frame rates and like the resolution is pretty like not that good compared to a PC.
Mm-hmm.
So I think these are like the main cons that I would say are with that. And yeah, if you also have to pay online, which is I think like another negative for the consoles.
That makes sense. So going on to spatial resolution, right? Frame
Mm-hmm.
rates. That being said, right? Let's say they make a pro console and have those
Uh-huh.
particular things in there, something that's equivalent to what AMD is working on, which is in itself. And you really got to do yourself a service, even if you like technology. Take a look at how Horizon Forbidden West performance mode is. It's very interesting. It is very interesting. I know the compromises, like the alpha buffers, the alpha part of the transparencies and stuff like that is rendered at a lower resolution, which softens the image,
Mm-hmm.
which kills the noise as well because it's softer. But whatever they're doing, I don't know exactly what's going on, but it is, and I'm saying this myself. I was telling Magnificent Black that's in here that the resolution or the difference between which is the tempo is actually Demon Souls, right? Performing mode. They're saying that people say that they don't know what's the difference, which is to me ridiculous, but whatever. The difference between that is it makes Demon Souls performance mode look worse. You know what I mean? Because of how sharp it is. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what resolution they have. I don't know what kind of temporal anti-aliasing they got going on. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Truthfully, it's very interesting to see. So if you have extra money to burn, I would say pick up the game. Shit, if you get the PlayStation Deluxe or Premium or whatever, and you want to spend like you don't want to pay the whole game, you just put $15 or $18 on there and just take a look to see what the fuck it is. I would say it's worth to see what it is. But let's say if they make a pro console, right, that can get you about 100 frames because Miles Morales with ray tracing and shit like that. If you uncap this shit, it could get up to like a 80 to 100 frames per second and still have a decent resolution, which is to me which is interesting. What would you say about that?
Probably no. I would not. It was what like maybe if I didn't have a PC, then I would definitely would have gotten a PS5 Pro. But now, like playing on PC and seeing the difference in performance and graphics and resolution between these both platforms, I would never buy a PlayStation 5 Pro.
So getting rid of the exclusive element, right, of the console.
Yeah.
Would you say it would hurt Sony in that case?
I don't know, man. I mean, for hardcore PC players, if you think that just because they're releasing Spider-Man 1, that the PC players are gonna like it and they're gonna buy a PlayStation 5 just to play the second Spider-Man, I don't think that's gonna happen. Because PC player.
You're going.
Because they would rather take that money and they put it and use it to upgrade their PC as opposed to just buying console. Just for a game or something. I mean, this is the issue. We get probably two high quality AAA PS exclusives per year, I guess, right? More or less.
Mm-hmm.
So once you're done playing those two those two games, your console is just like I said, collecting dust. There's nothing else to play there because all the multi-platform games they perform better on they perform much better on PC. So I mean, what's the point on play? And you get free online as well, so you don't have to pay monthly for just to play games online.
And what their claim to fame is when it comes to PlayStation is try to beef up their service to try to get people to buy the subscription service by playing games, stuff like that on there. Which I'm not an advocate of any services. Okay, so the Stray game that's coming out, it's going to be fucking. I'm purchasing that game. Okay. And I'll even put that shit on social media. I'm not doing it for a point. To me, there's a certain obligation to finish the game, and not an obligation. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a certain commitment when you purchase the game versus just kind of putting it on subscription service where it's almost like a throwaway. I don't know. That's how it is for me. Maybe I'm just old fashioned that way. So that's how it works for me when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, subscription services have their pros and cons. The pro is I think that you can try out different games which you would have bought.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it gives you access to different games, a lot of different genres or games that you wouldn't normally play. But I think that the con is that you have so much stuff, and then it's really difficult to finish games because something else comes out, and then you get bored of what you're playing, you don't see it through,
yeah,
and you move on to the next thing.
Yeah, and on top of it, you feel like I have to kind of complete the game at least because I bought it. You know what I mean? It's like I have to.
Yeah,
and plus,
exactly,
it slows you down to just be putting any fucking thing on your console. It slows you down a little. I've always, back in the day, I would look at multiple reviews and see if I can find some type of recurring theme. And if the game looked good enough for me to check out the reviews, then it goes to the next phase, which is to check out the reviews. And if they have some kind of negative recurring theme, then I'm like, that's a no-go for me. You know what I mean? So I've always been kind of careful. I don't need a corporation to say, try out all these games. It's free. I don't really operate that way. You know what I'm saying? I kind of know what I want. Like when I saw Stray, I instantly knew it. But I put the brakes on it because I was like, I hope it's not like an isometric type game. I kind of want to have a free flowing camera and stuff like that. So you brought up some very interesting points to kind of think about when it comes to people that actually purchase PC gaming and stuff like that. I guess I do have one more question, and it's piracy.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with the piracy on the PC space? Because we have Jeremiah in here, and he states that it's not like that much of an issue nowadays. Like no one's really going out and stealing shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not as bad as it used to be because, like, I think 10 years ago or something like that, people like devs just did not want to like release a PC port because they just get pirated by everybody. But I think over the years, like PC players have like stopped. Pirating is not that much like common. I mean, it still goes on, but there's like a lot of people who buy legit games, and so like that's why devs have started bringing their games to PC, and it's like it's gotten to this point that Microsoft releases their shit like day and date, and like even like Sony's like they see the money, they're not stupid. I mean they run all the numbers, they know how much they can make, how much like like money's gonna they're gonna be putting in for that project on PC, and how much they're gonna get the return on it. So I mean yeah,
It's
it
amazing.
is what it
It's
is, man.
amazing how when you post tweets online, how misconstrued that tweet can get. Like you may forget a word, or you know what I'm saying. Like you try to shorten it up so much that it kind of loses a little bit of the meaning, and
Mm-hmm.
it looks like people. It makes you look irrational. You know what I mean? Because you're just trying to shorten it up and stuff like that. So when I read your tweet, you know, I'm like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? Like it collects dust. Like really?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, he's one of those
Yeah.
fucking PC elite guys. But I mean, I know better than to just automatically assume shit because you never know. Not that it matters. Like even if you
Mm-hmm.
were like an elite person, all this shit is good for content. You know what I mean? This is good, and then it's on top of it
Mm-hmm.
because I like looking at these stories and listening to them and whatever the case is. It's
Like man, look, elitism is like I guess yeah, you have those people who are like PC elitist or like the PC master race BS, but I try and
Jemiah.
realize like because I mean I know yeah I mean it's okay man I'm like it's natural like for like it's understandable a 2,000 or like a twenty
Stop
five
it.
hundred dollar like a $2,500 PC is going to perform much better than a like a $500 console. So when the console fanboys like they try and like say that like they try and downplay the PC and just say like it's trash or it doesn't have games or it, like the graphical difference is like not that much, and what because they've never experienced it firsthand, right? That's what I say like to a lot of people. It's like you have to like experience it to realize that like how much difference like of like 120 frames per second or like 4K like native 4K makes, because that's like a game changer. And like I think it's also a negative because it has like sort of spoiled me, because first like I was like fine playing Last of Us, I don't know, at like whatever 900p on the PS3, it was like perfect, I was fine, I had like it was like one of my favorite games on the PS3.
Shit,
But now if I try
that
and
shit was 720p with like almost no
yeah yeah
anti-aliasing, and the frame rate was
yeah
like
exactly
20 to 25 frames, unless you were.
yeah, but I mean like we had that cinematic feel, man. I mean like it was fine, I like didn't mind, I like
Add a little bit of film grain, yo, that shit looked just like a DVD.
yeah
That shit
yeah
is
exactly.
indistinguishable at this point. But and I think with these consoles, I think this was the end game anyway. These consoles are basically prefabbed computers. You know what I'm saying? I will say this because I'm going to go into the pros and cons of it too. Here, you know what? So let me go here. Okay, Josh, this is on my YouTube channel, which my name is Josh, by the way. He says, "How many times did you make this podcast?" Now, every time it's coming up, this is not a bitching, you know, podcast, by the way, because I see what you were saying. I'm literally asking in its most purest sense, what is the point of the PS5? You know what I'm saying? With what we know with other consoles, I mean, with other computers, and then the games going to PC. What would be the point of it? You know, it's not like what's the point of it? I'm selling it because I'm certainly not selling my shit because I don't want to deal with all the stuff that updates and shit like that. I just want to turn the game on and keep it the fuck moving. That's what I want to do. You know, I never had a problem with frame rate issues, and you get the most, I would say, stable experience when it comes to like having your shit boot up and keep it moving on a console. It's made for that console. You know what I'm saying? So everything the pros and cons is made for it, and I'm here for that. Fine, that's how I look at it, and it doesn't cost the arm and the leg as well. Um,
I mean, you know what? It's like the more you put into it, like the better the reward is as far as PC gaming is concerned.
To a certain
I mean,
point,
yeah, sure.
you can only go but so far. That engine and the, if it, in that game, you know, you got to have assets for 4K textures and shit like that. If you don't have the access, all you want to do is spatially increase the frame rate. You know what I'm saying? And then resolution wise, you can get higher. And it's like, well, if you have a fucking monitor, like, I mean, if you get higher than that, okay, you have a clean ass image, and that's what it is. The curious thing is this too. Umar states that God of War was pirated 2,100,000 times. I don't know where that information came from. Not saying it's wrong or right.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know where it came from.
I mean, I mean, it could be, but the point is that Sony still made like I don't know they made millions of dollars on it, and they didn't have to do a lot of work because the game was already done on PS5. So it's just like you're just like not making money at this point. Just like just you have to like, and they bought a proper studio for porting these games. Like Nixis is like one of the, like that's their like claim to fame, sort of like
They're making Spider-Man
So
on the PC. So
yeah, yeah, they've like really have like some of the best PC ports they've done in the past. So see, Sony is not messing around. I mean, they've done their numbers. They know what they're doing. I mean, even if like it's getting pirated 2 million times, it's still sold a lot on PC. And I mean, yeah, it is a 4-year-old game. Okay, at this point, and a lot of people like myself, I played it on like the day and date on PS4. So I mean, I will get it. Like I might get it at some point, and but I'm not going to buy it at full price.
Yeah, that would be kind of
Because
ridiculous.
that's kind of ridiculous,
It
right?
don't matter if you added resolution or widescreen, it is not full price worth. No,
Yeah, exactly.
no.
And this is like one of my main points. Why I don't want to buy Horizon Forbidden West right now. Once I've played the game, and explored it, spend like I don't know what 50, 60 hours in the game.
No,
So when it comes to PC,
just to let you know, that game is 160 hours. It's a long fucking
yeah,
game.
probably,
It's a long game.
yeah,
But
yeah. So like even if you like put in like 34, 40 hours in that game, you've like you know so it's not the same when you're playing it the second time.
no,
So I want to like keep that experience, like I don't want to spoil the experience. So like when I'm able to play it, so it's like
you be
something.
just benchmarking basically at this point. Just to see what it looks like. I mean, I guess it's a market too. Jemiah, did you have any like questions for Cody at all? I know both of you motherfuckers are PC dudes at this point.
8 months. For a new PC guy, I respect his takes because he's not on some dumb shit like a lot of these guys are.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing is, my problem is the cost thing. I'm sick of people saying cost is a con. Listen, when people talk shit about $70 games, PlayStation dudes went fucking ham and tried to kill these dudes. So when it comes to cost of a hardware, mind your goddamn business. I don't understand that. You can't tell me stop pocket watching when I'm buying $7 games, but then you're gonna pocket watch me when I'm buying a $2,000 GPU. Mind your business. That's not a con. If I can afford it, I'm gonna buy it. That's not a con or a pro. It's just a thing. It's just what it is. It's reality. You know what I mean?
Shoes
so other
on
than that,
my
though,
feet.
I love what he said.
It. I'm sorry. Go on. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. I just think that the whole cost thing is okay, it costs a bunch of money. Okay, your car costs a bunch of money. You gonna ride your bike all day? Like I think people are being disingenuous with that cost shit. Like I had this $500 console. It looks good as a PC. It does not. It doesn't. So stop saying that. Like it's ridiculous to say that when your game literally can't even do 4K 60 at the same time. You gotta have a performance mode that already lets you know it's not on par with PC. So stop trying to bring this narrative that consoles are as good as PC. I hate that argument. It's nonsense argument.
They have their own pros and cons, and some people will say that in their eyes, is not that much. I mean, tomato, right? DeAndre, what you gotta say?
No, but
Yeah,
no, it's not tomato.
I had a lot to say, but I just figured so much was being shared from Cody, and I like Jamia's rant about pocket watching and things of nature. The thing about it, it's like anyone who complains that PC too complicated, PC too expensive, but they're the same people that go out and buy a brand new television for their home console and then buy external hard drives or NVMe for their console to get more storage. Its thing is they can definitely invest in a good enough rig and actually experience more than what the console offers. And it's like they just live in themselves. And then you try to scrutinize someone who actually go out, hey, I want to upgrade my rig with a 3090 or whatever it is. Let them do so because they know at the end of the day they're going to get the best performance for the games they choose to play. So, yeah, that pocket watching from console players is a definite issue, especially if they're the same ones who want to spend $2,000 on televisions and hard drives.
DeAndre, it's what it is. It's fucking disingenuous. It's disingenuous.
Yeah.
It's as disingenuous as the people that are concerned about consoles. I'm sorry, that Sony actually putting their consoles out or whatever the case is, and they are on PC, are putting their games out on PC. Somebody playing the guitar. Who's doing that?
Sorry.
I think it's Cody.
That's me.
I
didn't know you guys could
that
hear
dude rocking out. He was like playing the blues and shit like that. He like, damn, shit, I'm about to be on my porch. No, anybody that is talking about Sony putting their games on PC and that it's going to get pirated. Oh, Sony is stupid because they get pirated. That's pocket watching too. If they feel like it's cool, they want to do it. That's their shit. What you say, Jemiah? How you say it?
Nah. Jemiah. He probably walked away.
How you say it again? When people be talking about the game's going to get pirated if they put it on PC and shit like that.
Like, I have something to say about that because I have all the systems. So the reason people pirate in a lot of cases outside of maybe just not having money is availability. So I'm a person that used to pirate all the TV shows, all the movies. And then once I got to a point where I made decent money and it was convenient to get Netflix and HBO and whatever, I just got those services just like I do Game Pass, just like I'm going to probably do mid-tier PSN. If you make it convenient, you ain't got to worry about going through the hassle of doing this stuff and worry about piracy. Everything pirate. People pirate fucking Switch games on PC day one.
Yep.
But this is the thing, though. I have never worried about, damn, man, I hope fucking Universal has money because people pirated Fast and Furious 6. Nigga, nobody, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, can we stop this bullshit? That's just another argument people use because they don't have no real ammo to go at PC. That's a bullshit argument, too.
See, also, I don't like, because, like, also people assume that everyone has a PlayStation and there are people that maybe, like, just play on PC. So they think, oh, like they can never do a day one for a PlayStation exclusive or it's bad for that. But you have people that just, all they do is play on PC. Why do you think Xbox moved to like doing stuff on PC? I didn't play Xbox at all last generation. I had a PC. They got me into Game Pass because they did PC stuff.
I'm going off topic, man.
No, I mean,
sorry, I'm just bringing up stuff with the PC and all whatever. Sorry.
No, we're just trying to correct console people who want to scrutinize someone else's wallet just because they want a better experience.
No, it's not. No. Lincoln, I'm about to let you go. But I just want to say this, and then you can talk right after. What pisses me off, and by the way, what's going on, Lincoln? What pisses me off, right, is they don't care about your experience. They don't care about their experience or getting the best experience. That's not what this is about. It's not about that at all. It's about being an elitist. You know, you can't get these games. It's about gatekeeping because they feel inferior about their product that they purchased, that they tied themselves to. They have a soul fucking tie with their fucking plastic box. I keep telling people, like, I ain't the one. I do like Sony things, and I will not game on PC unless it's some sort of emulation for old ass games. And that's pretty much it. In terms of the here and now, I got an issue with FOMO. So, I mean, I'm not afraid to admit it or whatever, but it's my fucking money. I think his name used to be White Chocolate. He made so many purchases. C-Bomb. He made so many purchases, right? Of like cell phone games and shit like that. You know, everybody's like, that's predatory. He can do whatever the fuck he want with his money. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Like, it's so annoying when people go and do shit like that. Like, you know, the thing about it is that there are console players that are casual, and the vast majority of them are going to stay on consoles. You get some overlap that's for people that, like, I used to play Tomb Raider, the old Tomb Raiders for PS1. I keep saying this every fucking time I talk about this shit. I clearly knew that there was a computer that will make that shit, the textures won't wobble. You know what I'm saying? It was a higher resolution, it had extra effects like biometric fog and all this other stuff, bump mapping back then. And I still decided to play that shit on the console. That's what I was comfortable with. Could have got a PC. I didn't want it on PC. I stick by that shit. This is before the crazy ass console war that we have now. Lincoln, what's going on with you, man?
What's good, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly well.
What up, Lane?
Hey, what's good, everybody?
Finally,
I want to. I've been dipping in and out, watching you from the shadows and shit, man. So I've been there. I just sit back and I keep my ear to the ground. But I wanted to weigh in on this about the cost of PCs. For starters, I want to start off by saying that I'm one of the dudes that spent a ton of money on PCs. I got 2 gaming PCs that total up to about, I think, over $5,000. One of them I got about $3,000 in one computer, and I got about $2,000 in the other. One of them is my gaming PC. The other one is a streaming PC, but it's also got more than enough power to run any game I want, because I just recently put a 3070 Ti in that one. I got a 3080 Ti in my main computer. 64 gigs of RAM. I got a beast. In any case, so yeah. Yeah, i9 12900K, 64 gigs of RAM, it's a beast. Even my streaming PC is a beast. So, anyway, I'm getting braggadocious. What I was trying to say was I didn't have shit, no doubt, man. I didn't have to spend that much on a PC if I didn't want to. I chose to do that. For you, in today's climate, for you to build a PC that can do what the PS5 could do, in my opinion, it would probably cost you anywhere between $800 and $1,300. That might initially sound like a lot of money when you talk about the cost of getting your foot in the door. But let's think about something for a second. Let's say hypothetically that the Xbox and PlayStation still keep all the games exclusive to the console. You would have to spend $500 for the PS5 to get their exclusives. You would have to spend $500 for the Series X to get their exclusives. And then you would still have to pay $60 a year for their subscriptions for Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus. How long would it take at that? When you look at it that way, it wouldn't take long for you to pay the $1,000 that you would have spent on that PC that everybody is hollering about. Now, let's go ahead and flip the script. Xbox has brought all their games to PC, and it looks like Sony is moving in that direction. Now that same $800 to $1,300, the cost of building a PC, now you got the all-in-one device, and you can play all those games without the subscription. So you're saving $120 a year just off of the not having to pay for Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus. Not to mention that on PC, games, the price of games drop a lot faster on PC than they do on console, because when you're on console, you're at the mercy of the platform holder because you only get what they offer you. On PC, there are a number of different angles where you can get games, G2A, Humble Bumble, CD keys, and stuff like that. I mean, I found Titanfall for $5, for Titanfall 2 just recently.
I just got Montana Rise for $20.
So, yeah, I'm about to go ahead and grab this Sifu in here in a minute for $24 for PC. And so I might even be streaming it.
That's why I said pirating used to be a huge thing, but now even with the crackdown on Pirate Bay and shit like that, it's easier just to buy the game now, and you can get it super cheap.
Mm-hmm. So all that being said, if you wanted to go strictly console, if you were to pay $500 for the Series X and $500 for the PS5 plus their Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus subscription, you're going to end up paying double what that PC costs, in about 5 years.
Don't forget the TV.
Well, the TV.
Yeah, the TV.
You can. That's
not to mention that you still paying $70 for games, for full price games. In addition to, and if you want to go the Game Pass route, you spending $180 a year. So in the long haul, you can cut some corners and stuff like that as far as the PC
You
goes.
can make the money back over the years.
Yes.
So here's the thing that I have about this particular conversation, because I am a console player and will remain that way, right? A lot of people get up in arms when people make this particular compelling argument. They get pissed. They get upset about this. My console, why are you making it invalidated? Why you keep talking?
What they did for me is Sony just solidified it. In my opinion, PC is my main platform anyway. For VR, for flat screen games, whatever. And with me having a $3,000 PC with a 3080 Ti in it, and I'm probably gonna get my hands on a 4080 or a 4090 when they come out later on this year. Even though I don't need it, I want to get it.
Same.
I want to get it.
If I want it,
if Spider-Man is available on PC, why would I play it on a console that cannot even hold a candle to my PC?
Well, and this is my comment to this, right? And Jemiah makes a good point by saying that the price of the cost is kind of a bullshit argument. So I get that, but the console is a low barrier of entry, and that will always remain that way. There are certain comforts to a console. I've mentioned this before because I had several podcast spaces where I mentioned this before. There's certain conveniences that they have within the console. Like I do like to stream, and I don't need to worry about it. Worry about this eating up this CPU space or whatever the case is. It's a more convenient situation. That's what it boils down to, and that's fine. You know what I mean? If you're a little more savvy, then by all means get it on a PC. Or it's not to invalidate it. I will say this: it will always be a place for a console because some people are just not willing to do all that. They're just not willing to do it.
I get it.
Of course,
and that's fine.
And I've even said it. I've even said it. I'm not taking nothing away from the console. I mean, because I got a PS5, and I tell people, even though Xbox ain't really, in my opinion, even though the Xbox Series X, I don't feel like that console is giving you value for your money. I'm still honest enough to say that the PS5 and the Xbox Series X gives you computer power without the computer price. So I'll never take that away from the console. It's just PC is so much more wide open, so many more games to choose from. And then another thing about PC is the modding community. They give you different angles to games, and a lot of times you don't have to pay for it. Case in point, a set of Corsa. I've been getting hold of tracks and cars and shit like that for free, stuff that I would have had to pay for on GT7.
And here's another interesting thing about console gaming, because they have your game. My bad.
Up to your audio, man. Like you just got out the car and ended up in the back.
Y'all guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah,
somebody always fucking calling me. Yo, leave me the fuck alone. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the whole thing about which is pretty cool about consoles, because consoles will bring all of that and into one little nicely wrapped in a bow or a bow type situation, right? You got Apple versus Android, which we all know that Android is more open than Apple platforms, but Apple still sells more. It still sells more and will remain that way because of its convenience. There's always going to be some.
I don't know if they sell more.
No, not.
But it's fine.
Okay, let me clarify. I'm sorry. Because
I'm sorry. I've had issues with the first one, but go ahead. I didn't mean to derail.
No. The point that you're right. Let me be careful with my wording. I'm typically careful, but I'm talking about Samsung versus Apple. Overall, like all Androids, it's not hitting Apple. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Overall, Androids, like all Androids that are sold, it sells a little more than Apple. But if you just do Samsung versus Apple, then it's just that's the two big heavy hitters. But there are people that want to be in that.
Hold up. Hold up, because I'm just Google this shit because I wanted to Google this shit to get actual information. When I was looking at this, Apple only has in 2021 they only had 14% of the market share, and Samsung had 28%. And so overall, Samsung has a way bigger market share than Apple when it comes to iPhones.
Let me see something really quickly. And don't.
I mean, that's fine. I don't want you to get derailed from what you're trying to say. But I
like to kind of say truths because. All right, let me see. Galaxies. I think. Well, you said 2021 or 2022. 2021.
Well, right now I'm on Statista, and it's saying that in Q1 2022, Samsung had 23.4% and Apple had 18%. So it went up 15% from last year. But like I said, Apple is just it's huge because it has a lot of branding and marketing, and you see most of the celebrities with iPhones. But the regular person is going to get a Samsung or an Android.
Well, the Android because it's cheaper. Let me see here.
Yeah.
So what I'm seeing here, it says...
Wait, hold on. You talking about phones?
Yes.
Yeah. I did the iPhone market share and I did Samsung market share. And you can see that Samsung has a bigger market share than Apple.
Yeah, but that's for the quarter.
Yeah, because the operating system is available on more platforms.
That's
Apple is making crazy amount, probably more money, though, just because their phones cost fucking $2 billion.
Yeah, and they make the most money.
And all their fucking software is fucking proprietary.
From what I'm showing here, manufacturers' market share in smartphone sales in the United States is led by Apple and Samsung.
Apple has the largest.
But that's only versus
from 2001.
Yeah, that's only versus Samsung, not Android.
Yeah. Let's see, from 2016 to fourth quarter of 2021. Yeah, it seems Apple has the largest market share here on Statista. Hold on, let me check Counterpoint Research. Okay, Q4 2020 to Q1 2022. Yeah, Apple had like 50% of the market share here for cell phones by quarter for the smartphones. Smartphone shipments grew 12% year over year. Supply chain dynamics improved and fell 16%.
I'm just talking about total addressable market space, not like what they sold for a quarter.
Yeah, but it's still.
Josh, I just sent you the tweet.
Oh, global market. Let me check the global market share.
Yeah, the global market share. The global market share held by leading smartphone vendors.
Yeah,
Samsung is the leading one.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes.
I will say in the U.S. it's probably more skewed iOS than it is in other parts.
I think what I was looking at here in terms of the United States, let's be specific. In the United States, Apple is like half of everyone.
Oh, we're looking at MPDs.
Pretty much. Yeah, Apple is pretty much in second place every time with Samsung leading worldwide. Yes.
Yeah.
20% Samsung has
versus 14 to 7.
Samsung has Korea and China and if they allow. Well, China have their own shit, but I think they have Korea and shit like that.
Yeah, they're basically. Yeah. Apple.
But anyways, that's off topic.
No, it's just good that you covered it. You know.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up.
No. I like to be on point. I like to try to be
for a brand to be in second place against one of the most dominant Android brands is very impressive, especially with the exclusivity type of inclusive community and synergy style operating that they have between platforms and within the ecosystem, which is what Xbox copied. It seems to be garnering a lot of trust, even though, of course, the superior products are not Apple.
No, it never has been. Well, no, when it first came out, it was. But either way, what I'm saying is that people, let's look at the United States, that's where I'm at. People like the convenience. Yeah. I've literally, because I sell cell phones in part of my day. I'm not a cell phone company, but I do sell cell phones. And these people would be like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I'm just more comfortable with it. And there's just going to be people like that. That's fine. But what needs to be understood about this whole situation about consoles is that it allows you to play a lot of these games at a low price immediately. I mean, of course, over time, you're going to be spending fucking money. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But immediately, you can get into gaming pretty quickly, you know? And like I said, there's pros and cons. There's convenience. You can stream the shit. You know, there's a lot of different things that's on there that's pretty cool on the console. But understand that each platform has its reason for existing. You know what I'm saying? And I know it pisses a lot of people off that Sony is opening their doors to go to different places. But you gotta really ask yourself this question though. Like, why is it a problem for you? That's the question.
Um, you know what? I think that it's because they're insecure. I think that's the main issue.
It's
That they
weirdo
don't want
shit.
any.
It's weirdo shit to me.
But yeah, this is the
Yeah,
thing. The
it
thing
is.
is, it's a
But
platform. It's not your girlfriend. Like, I don't understand. Like, these games aren't owned by you. They're owned by Sony. You just bought a license to play them. That's it. They don't owe you anything. And the real hard truth is, Sony would not be doing this if every game that was exclusive was selling 40 million like fucking Mario Kart and shit like that. You know what I mean? The problem is these Sony's players don't support these games. They didn't support Days Gone. They bought. I have Days Gone. I have both versions of it. I think I have the PS5, and I just got the PS4 version of it. But I have like every Uncharted version. I have Uncharted Collection. I have Uncharted 4. I have Lost Legacy. I have the Thieves Collection. I have all these goddamn games. I'm buying these games, and I prefer PC. The real problem is Days Gone sold 8 million. Ghost of Tsushima sold 8 million. Fucking Ratchet and Clank, Returnal. All these games that are exclusives, they're not selling 40 million. And that's
Yeah.
on PlayStation
I don't
Gamers.
think
they just don't have, they
I
don't have
think that's a
they don't have
hindrance.
the attach rate
I don't.
for the number of units that are out there.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a hindrance for a new IP. You see, that's I think that's a skewed logic.
It's not a skewed logic. There's
hold on,
100.
hold on, hold on.
Time out. No, let me clarify my whole statement so you don't make a The PS4 fucking player base is like what 100 and almost 120 million
Yes.
consoles.
Yes.
Only about 20 million people bought Uncharted 4 over a long ass fucking lifetime. That's less.
Discounts and discounts and discounts.
I can understand what you're saying, but
Exactly.
Can I make a counterpoint to that? Could I?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I understand Days Gone, and there was a big problem with reviews, which also affect the sales and things like that, and the quality of the game at launch, which is also in part part of Sony management and development for launching it in that state, which of course hampered sales, but the game still sold well and was ported to PC. That's fine. But the thing is that if it seems to me from what I've read, and take this with a grain of salt, that a lot of the things that hampered it had to do more so with marketing than the actual sales to getting a sequel. The reviews were, on Metacritic. It seems to be a thing that causes a lot of these companies to actually, give bonuses to their developers as well. So as well as the actual, sales in hand. Now you have other games that are struggling. The actual games that need help, and I'm completely behind them putting these games on PC. A lot of the smaller titles like what's the game from what's it?
Returnal?
Just describe it.
Returnal,
Describe the gameplay.
Returnal. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Returnal is and that company is their games don't really. You never really hear about their games selling well, even on back as far as working with Sony as far as a PS3. They're usually the company that gives like the hard hitting arcade style games that not too many people are willing to dive into anyway. So I think that they would definitely do very well being put on PC with a wider base where people actually like put money into it, and that could have saved a lot of games,
Like Gravity Rush.
smaller games for Sony. Exactly, it could have saved games like Gravity Rush before they eventually tanked. But of course, as Sean Layden was saying in the past, that a lot of these big, very large games were actually pulling the weight for the smaller games. Now, if you
So
put
did
games on PC,
Shuhei said it too.
Yes, yeah, and so if you put games on PC, they allow for the actual sales to get to increase to at least a reasonable point. Do I think that the sales are great on PC? No. But they're decent. And so the thing about
Hey, if I could chime in for a second, I think they made what 108 million off of PC so far for games that was just sitting on the shelf doing nothing.
Million.
I think that's the projected goal.
They made
I didn't know if
million.
Okay, well, hell, that's even a lot better
from 3 games.
Still,
are you talking about?
I'm talking about the games that's going to PC. I'm talking about the games that's going to PC. I think the 3 games that they featured. I think what was it?
Days Gone, Horizon, and God of War.
Okay, I think those 3 games. What I think, if I read that chart wrong.
Let me look up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, Sony got 108 million in revenue from 3 PC games that they released on PC.
And they are in 300 million is the projected goal within the time frame. My point is these are 3 games. They made 108 million off of these games, and these games was sitting on the shelf doing nothing.
Or they were free. They were in PS Plus. They were on like $5 fucking bargain bin sales.
Hold on. Because there's some people that had their hand raised.
Okay,
Ronan, you first.
I'll step down.
No, you don't gotta leave. I'm just letting them talk.
No, I don't think that was fair of me. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make the counter, but I'll wait my turn from now on.
Yeah, I just wanted to say about the whole Returnal game. To me, it just wasn't for me. Like to really cash in. I can see why people like that game, for it to actually start boosting forward sales and all that. The game that I was interested in was Days Gone.
Okay.
Someone's like blowing to the mic. Sorry.
Continue, please.
But yeah, sorry. I was a little distracted about a blowing mic. Sorry. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah. But Days Gone, I really enjoy that game. I do not understand why Sony didn't greenlight for a sequel to give the developers Ben Studio a chance to really showcase exactly what they could have done for a sequel on the PlayStation 5.
It was a lot
especially.
It was a lot of internal.
But I also think that Days Gone was hurt by the PS4 Pro's performance too. Like they really couldn't do the huge mobs and shit like they wanted to, because that shit had a lot of performance hits.
No, they pulled it off though. They had a really
you got
it still was a good game. I beat the game. I still liked it, but
it's just the PS5 actually made it better.
In the demo as well too.
They patched the game a couple of times where they kind of mitigated a lot of the frame drops. Yeah, initially, it was rough. It wasn't supposed to come out at that point in time. But Ronan, continue. I'm sorry.
No, but think about it. We heard criticisms about people saying, "Oh, there should be," and it's not complaints, but I'm tired of people saying it. It's like, "Oh, it's complaints." Like, no, it's criticism. People were criticizing the game by saying, "Oh, this would be better if it had co-op, online co-op, and stuff like that." Which, yeah, to a degree, but at the same time, the technology of that game's engine wouldn't have handled the hordes of freakers that you were killing as Deacon St. John, or any of the Mongols that you were playing in his biker gang and stuff like that. So, maybe they could have done co-op in a sequel.
It could have been, pulled off. I'm just saying.
On PC, I think it did great on launch. Did it?
Yeah, it did. It was.
What were the specs like?
I sold about 800 copies so far. 800,
yeah.
Let me see the PC.
It did really well for
just go to Steam. That'll tell you. Go to Steam. I don't feel like looking it up right now because I'm watching wrestling.
It did really well.
Days Gone sold 852,000.
No. Not the sales. I appreciate you telling me the sales. I was talking about the specs. The specs from Steam.
What do you mean?
How did the specs
do it?
Minimum or recommended?
I'm not.
I'm just asking about how the performance was
overall.
Yeah, how was the performance on PC? That's all I was.
It was solid when it came out. I mean, because it was the actual final version. It wasn't like the PS4.
And it was Unreal 4, which was easy. It was already a PC type experience. In terms of you could do 4K, you could do 4K 60 without any frame rate drops.
Yeah, I saw that. But what about what was it like when it came to the horde fights of the freakers?
I'm telling you, 4K 60. It just at period. It doesn't really have any
The
issues.
game ran well on PC.
Yeah, it doesn't have any issues.
I had to mention that because you never know if those games with that kind of resolution and frame rate. Because I play Cyberpunk 2077 and I get a bunch of I get some frame drops here and there.
That's because of the studio and that old engine they were using.
Yeah,
yeah.
The situation.
Sorry. I was
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just trying to say, I think that if Sony would have gave Ben Studios a chance, they would have knocked it out the park with Days Gone 2. Especially how many signatures and funds were put into the GoFundMe to get that petition signed for Days Gone 2, man.
Yeah, but I'll still never forget that ending. Because I gotta let other people say something. Ronan, here's the thing: just because a game doesn't get greenlit originally, it doesn't mean that it's permanently that's it. Because God of War was that situation as well. God of War Ascension did horrible, and they came back to it later on, and now look at it or whatever the case is. I mean, the reason why it was optics. There was a lot of political shit that was going on with the game. People talk about something. How come there's no
what?
Okay, so how come there's no black zombies? How come he's being misogynist, looking at his wife's ass? They have corny lines that's all misogynist. It was a lot of stupid shit that was going on.
There was a bunch of dumb shit. Yeah, like generic white boy shit. Like
he was a gruff. As soon as the review started, here we go again with another gruff white man. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? So
this sounds like some SJPW.
Oh no, go to IGN. Look at all the reviews. IGN, GameSpot. Look at all those reviews for the game. They're still there.
No, it does exist. We're not gonna pretend like that shit doesn't exist because it does. Like that's not even an argument.
No, he's just stating that that's what it sounds like. But
that's what it sounds like.
That's what it was. That was the biggest issue with it. Okay, we got frame rate issues or whatever the case is, and it's funny how other games could get the pass and not this one. Let me go, Cody. You're next. I mean, not you're next after
State of Decay 2. I'm looking at you. We'll talk about
Josh. I'm getting ready to take off here in a second to go live. So I just know that I'm about to bounce out of here.
Peace out, man.
Always.
Yeah, I do want to not self-promoting, but I do want to let everybody know that I'm getting ready to go live because the topic here is that the PS5 is likely going to be my last console. So I want to talk about that. So for those of you that's in here, this space is great. Give support to my man Josh, and then catch mine on the replay.
Yeah, check out that boy.
You saying you retiring from gaming? What's going on there?
No.
Relax, motherfucker, relax.
Oh, so you're moving to PC gaming, huh?
I got my two PCs together cost $5,000. So
this boy moved to the master race, man.
I think that's what it is, and because we still got that one little topic left. I'm surprised you're still here, Cody. But Lazy Gamer, what did you have to say? I'm so sorry. Juggling all the chats is difficult.
Oh no, you're fine. The only thing I was saying is also from some of the PS players, because I have all the consoles and PC, and I prefer PC when I can. There are conveniences of the consoles, but I also hear a conversation where people say well, God of War comes out years later, and they only sell a couple million versus the millions they sell on PlayStation. Eventually, PlayStation, I believe, is going to start doing either day and day or close to release, because out of the 100 million or whatever million there are PlayStation players, if you're only selling those games to a certain percentage of it, there are people that don't play on console. There's another market out there for PC gamers. So why would they not, if they're trying to grow? For example, if I have an install base of 100,000 or 100 million users, and I'm at close to saturation, you have to find more users to buy yourself somewhere else. Why not go to PC? Because then you're not cannibalizing the whole console versus console. PCs usually ain't concerned about the whole which console is better. That's why I think everything is moving to PC the way it is with PlayStation.
I'm going to get into that in just a second. Before we go on here, hey, Anti-More, I'm not blocking your comments on YouTube. YouTube is doing it by itself. I don't have any blocks on there. And I find it funny. This is what I'm talking about, the stupid fucking SJW shit. This is so irritating to me. He said it was an ugly white girl who complained about Days Gone, and YouTube blocked it.
Yeah, YouTube don't play that though.
Why? Because he said ugly and then white girl after that. That's for real. YouTube.
Bro, that's racist, bro. Hold on.
Well, he defined a fucking human. You can't see it, but you can see it in the chat, though. I'm like,
Sony's, Sony has like the same type of shit.
No, but that's Sony in a console. This is like a fucking a social platform. That's all it is, really. And then they're talking about you can't say ugly and white girl. He didn't even say anything racist. He didn't say anything like hateful,
bro. But you got kids on you. You got kids.
My shit is not blocked for kids, though. I didn't select that option.
Well, yeah, I guess I don't know. All I'm saying is, in this day and age, I know. Yeah, you know, man. It's like you gotta deal with it. These platforms are gonna do whatever they want.
Corny, yo, real corny. Anyway, Cody, go on.
Yeah. So, what I want to say is that basically, like a lot of people who play on consoles are just like casual players. Okay, so they just like care about the latest Call of Duty or the latest what do you call it, FIFA game. Okay, so the most of the like gamer base on consoles are those people. Okay, so even if like Sony was just like kept their single player games on console, I don't think it would have been sustainable for them.
No.
Because what PS fanboys don't realize is that like not every the 100 million people, not all of them are going to go and buy like the next God of War or Horizon Forbidden West. No. I mean, sure, Spidey or like Wolverine will sell but that's because of Avengers and the Marvel brand, but like the typical like casual gamers, they're just there for they casually play Call of Duty with their friends or playing Madden or FIFA or stuff. But like
I don't like the word. I don't like the word casual though, because it's like it's not necessarily a casual experience. It's. I mean, you can be a hardcore gamer and be on console for sure.
Oh no, yeah, you can be. But I'm saying like the majority of people who play on consoles are like just like
I get what he's saying. He said
they play their one or
that's
two
on every platform.
Yeah.
No, that's on every platform. The large amount of people on any platform will be more casual than any.
Yeah, but the thing is that the barrier to entry on PC is more it's more difficult.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's higher, so it's less people who are just randomly.
Yeah, exactly.
Higher. Like
so, like if you're gonna go out and buy a 3090 or like a 4090 coming up, you're probably gonna be a hardcore gamer. You're not gonna just buy that shit just to have it on your shelf to hang out.
I know somebody. I have a friend that has a crazy fucking PC, and he plays World of Warcraft. That's all he plays. Nothing else.
What the Warcraft is a fucking. First of all, what the Warcraft
games or Xbox.
No. I'm not shitting on World of Warcraft. But point is, every platform is going to have that platform game that everybody plays, and that's what it's made.
Well, World of Warcraft is a very intense game. That's a hardcore game right there. You cannot. You can't really play casually with World of Warcraft.
No, I'm not saying that it was. I'm not saying it was casual. My whole point is that
we're saying the specs of a computer you have to build to get the maximum out of that game. It's an older game. You don't need to spend all that money.
But he did.
No, Warcraft.
He did. Say if the game was actually built.
Who has played Warcraft? If you ever took the settings of the Warcraft to like Ultra or some shit, that shit is fucking demanding as fuck. You don't even realize how much shit that they take that you can't see. The level of detail you can't see if you have it on like medium settings. There's like fucking ants and shit. There's all kind of details to the flowers. Like that game is so fucking intense. If you turn it up all the way, you realize you need a good PC. Believe me. Then you get into a raid battle with like 40, 25 people. All these animations going on, all these fucking effects and shit. That shit will definitely destroy any PC that's not ready for it.
Well, my whole point is that's all he uses it. It's a World of Warcraft machine. That's all it's designed to do. He have a PS5 too, but he only uses that for that particular game, and he has the ability to play other games on there too.
Yeah, dude, but like that's like an outlier. Okay, not like there's not going to be a lot of people. I mean, I know a lot of people who just play Fortnite and just want to have an easy experience, like easy way to play Fortnite. Mm-hmm. So what they would do is just get a PS4. Use PS4 and just start playing Fortnite, and that was all that they used to play. So
I don't think that gave one of my one efforts, and all he does on that is Fortnite.
But real quick though, I don't want to see that it's I don't want to say that as a negative or whatever, because if you look at Xbox most played games, the top 6 are always Apex, Fortnite, shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
If you
So
look at if you look at PlayStation's game sales, their biggest game is Spider-Man, what, so 33 million. Like I think 20 million is around that many players who are actually hardcore on the PS5 who are willing to go out there and buy almost every exclusive. You know what I mean? After you get past that, those people are not. It's a kid or some shit probably.
I
Somebody
think
probably
it's
bought it
smaller.
for
I think
college.
it's smaller than
You know
that.
what I mean?
I think it reached the mainstream.
I think 20 is because I think Uncharted and God of War, Uncharted, God of War, and Horizon.
Across other games, yes.
Yeah, Uncharted, God of War, Horizon, Spider-Man, all the way past 20 million. So I'll put 20 million to be the cap.
I will say this.
For people who are going to
I would say
this.
I would say this. Right. Console games, ever since PlayStation expanded the market, right? Its top expansion rate for all consoles that's in that market for that generation looks to be, let me see, 150 plus the 220s, probably 300 million is about as, or 250 million, excuse me, is about as high as it can go. That's it. And that's including all the consoles together. That's it. That's what's going on. And with these games budgets blooming the way that they are, it's going to be very fucking hard to create games with fucking now we get like fucking journalists. Why do we have to have peach fuzz on skin? Why the fuck not? Why not? That shit's like so fucking annoying. But what I'm seeing here is that they want to expand it. Again, my question will always be this, right? Why does it bother you so fucking much that they're doing PC? I don't understand it. I don't get it.
I think I can explain that. I can explain that, but I also the also other part. Well, partially because I of course I don't know everything, but the thing is that I can say historically, the way that consoles created value proposition was essentially to create exclusives, and that of course millennials grew up with it, and that was the way of identifying with the platform. Now, when I became like exclusive to consoles from PC, that's one of the reasons why I did it. I primarily play a lot of exclusive games as opposed to like multiplats because in that era, like Sony and Nintendo's games were just much better than a lot of other games until indies blew up. So the quality started to grow, and now the demand is much higher to where it's pretty much eclipsing the console itself. So and they're eclipsing other third-party developers, and when you go on other platforms, as the amount of competition with AAA games decreases, the value of the high-powered exclusives grows. So when you go, if you have like a powerful PC and you're playing a PlayStation game, yeah, that would be a huge thing. But of course, there's going to be multi-platform games that do that too because of scaling and stuff like that. Games are made to harness that PC power first. But eventually, there might become a day when Sony, much like Microsoft, eventually invests full on outside of the console, and that's when you know that the console is no longer truly the selling point because the brands, the quality of their games has truly surpassed a box. So but I think that's one of the reasons people. It's generally a millennial problem. I don't think it's going to be a problem with Generation Z. Or the generation that comes after. I think it was Alpha. I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
No, I think it's the Generation X.
Yeah, what I think is that there's like the market segment, like the console market and the PC market is like really different. Okay, you're not gonna have like people who play on console. They're not gonna build like a $2,000 PC just because their consoles are going their console exclusive are going on to PC. Okay, so there's that like high entry cost. So I mean, they're different markets, man. I don't think like releasing on PC is going to like affect your console sales.
No, it's
because
not.
those guys are all.
I think very little. I think that I think the effect is going to be so fucking little that it's not even a point of like conversation. See, when people buy phones, casual people, right? When they buy phones, what do? They put it in the fucking payment plan built into their bill. They're not trying to buy a $2,000 phone. A $1,500 phone. They ain't trying to do any of that bullshit. You know, because again, the price of entry, it'll be a lot easier for them to do that. You know, put it on a credit card. I deal with this shit all the time, and the situation goes. There's always going to be people that are looking for the lowest cost, even though they know in the long run it's a more expensive situation. But they take that rule of engagement. They understand that they're going to pay a little bit more.
Yeah, plus, dude, people don't care about, like, you know, normal people don't care about, like, casual, like, you know, regular people don't care about frame rates. They don't care about resolution. You know, they got probably like a 1080p 60 like, you know, hertz TV. They don't care about this stuff. You know, it's just like the hardcore gamers, or like, you know, the people who are really invested in it, who care about the specs and, you know, all of this stuff. So, you know, for most of the like player base on these consoles, you know, they don't care about the PC, man. They just want like the easiest way to get into gaming. You know, play a couple of games, like, you know.
Here's the thing: if PlayStation,
I don't know about that, because these console dudes spent 3 years talking about specs. I was gonna
say that they talk about teraflops. Didn't even know what the fuck that meant. That's why a good amount of games that run.
Dude, that was Xbox dudes. The teraflop conversation started.
Yeah, that came from the Xbox community, man, not the PlayStation community. Because all we talked about was exclusive and new experiences, like the DualSense. No one was talking about power.
But what, guys? We're talking about like console warriors, or like, you know,
yeah. This is blanketed statement.
That is a small minority.
They eventually started to compete with Xbox gamers on that. I agree. There's definitely that small contingent of people who really shouldn't be listening.
But you know what? You know what happens. You know what happens. Stop popping. If the ponies or the PlayStation fans weren't popping shit, if they didn't say what they said and just played their games like Nintendo fans, none of this would be a thing. None of this would.
Like I said, I mean, like, I blame Sony guys, because the console war has been over for at least one generation. These Xbox dudes are like those old Japanese dudes in the middle of islands by themselves fighting a war. Let's stop talking to these dudes, bro. Like, they have nothing until Xbox brings games. I don't want to hear anything from an Xbox dude. Like, shut up. Like, stay in your place.
They're not going to stop. It's as we said. There's that small.
Oh no, you can stop. You can stop them. But the way that you stop them is to stop responding to them.
Exactly.
That goes for anything. They get
the thing about Nintendo gamers.
Yeah.
Oh, that you were saying.
No, go on.
They existed. I when I first got online and stuff like that, they were what people consider to be just like the Sony gamers today. So you know, but because Sony ended up winning the war against Nintendo, they eventually stopped talking. So they eventually accepted the reality that Sony is a dominant market leader. Mm-hmm. You know, so there's still residual effects of that today, with, you know, some of them, you know, still existing and having that little Nintendo superiority exclusives.
Bro, but at the same time, my boy, Nintendo is selling like 30+ million every game.
I understand. I understand it, but I'm talking about an issue like back in when I first came online and stuff like that with you know, VG charts and things like that back in like the 2000s. You know, like, they were talking about like the quality of their games and how superior they were, and Sony couldn't get a good, you know, score on their game compared to their games. Like, that's the Sony fans got it from the Nintendo fans.
Well, you know what? No, I'll say this, and I'll let Blessed have his commentary, right?
Yeah. I was there.
So no, what do you say? Sony will do what? Devil Shooter. I'm talking about the fans. If the fans will shut the fuck up and just play their fucking games, you wouldn't have a lot of this stupid ass rhetoric that I see online. You know, creating arguments, creating their own arguments to win them. You know what I mean? Stupidity like that. Oh, I thought you said Spider-Man will never do that, nigga. I never said that shit. Fucking Insomniac did. And I'm just repeating what Insomniac said. What the fuck you talking about? Never say never.
Right. Like, you got an L because they changed their mind. You know what I mean?
Like, I'm just listening to them. I'm basing it off of them. They said it a couple of times. You will not get this PS4 version on this shit. That's what they said, on PC or on the other console. It is exclusive. You know what I'm saying? That's true. I'm like, you know, just stupid ass fucking narratives just to win, just to get a W. And I always said this about Xbox in general. Why don't you fucking talk to, like, Microsoft just released some kind of tweet. Here's what's going to happen with our show, Xbox. What does that even mean? Did y'all see that tweet?
Yeah,
man.
basically, they're gonna talk about Xbox. I think they're trying to be. They think they're trying to be funny, like with the leaks and shit. Like we're gonna talk about. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's not cute to me. I think Xbox has like they need to go hire like a bunch of fucking 18-year-olds or some shit because they have the worst marketing, the worst like. They can never read a room. You know what I mean? Like this shit's always really weird and strange and just I don't know. It's cringe type shit.
Yeah, it's corny as fuck, man. It's always been like that.
There was a cringe streak, and it's so stupid. Like PlayStation ponies.
I hate to use cringe though. I hate that.
I know it's cringe, right? PlayStation ponies, right? We're talking about how Microsoft was doing a whole fingernail paint and shit like that. So they double down on it. Here's these controllers to put your like they've released even more controllers. Like that's adequate to say that they don't know how to read a room at all. And if I've had Xbots on this show that sat there and was like, "Well, why do you like it?" "Oh, I like Xbox because of customer service." What? You know what I'm saying? Like you like Xbox because of the customer service.
I mean, if you only play multiplats, is that such a bad thing?
But they're not playing any games. That's the thing. They're fucking.
But the purpose of the console is to be a gaming machine. It's not to be a fucking customer service machine.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, you can't even devil's advocate this shit. They don't even play games.
Like in the beginning, in the beginning though,
for a lot of casuals, that will be a thing.
Well, I can't say, but the thing is though, I can't say they don't play games because Xbox is not releasing games. People have to use like features as ammo for the console. Or like, yo, they like these features because they didn't have any games. So I blame Xbox more than I blame the fans.
The fans shame on me once, shame on them, shame on them once, shame on me twice. Because that's the problem. Instead of them, they are so far up Sony's ass. They don't have a PlayStation of any type, but they're so far up Sony's ass. You got fucking Kids Move. I can't wait to play Spider-Man with my Xbox. What is this?
Oh my!
It's
so he has a very
his Xbox controller. His Xbox controller,
like to Xbox, like it's a part of his soul. Like
I told you, they got a soul tie. They got a soul tie with this shit, and it's weird.
Yeah, that's definitely
It's weird as fuck. It was another guy. He was like, "Oh, there's another person. I screenshotted it, but I don't know where I put it. But he was like, he said this. He said, "Oh, I'm so grateful. Oh, what did he say? The new Xbox showcase is going to be so fire. I heard that Kojima is making a special game. Wouldn't it be awesome if they were using a Decima engine and put eye emojis? Where about your engine? What about that slip space shit? What about that? Honestly, that's the problem. Where those shit? There's people in general. This new age bullshit is weird as fuck. You got people doing all sorts of weird ass shit. You know, you got people saying, I ain't even with there. Anyway, I ain't even gonna take it there.
Wait, what do you mean new age?
New age, I'm talking about this modern people. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about you Gen Z dudes, bro. That's what you're talking about. Okay. These Gen Alpha, Gen Z dudes out here being weirdos.
As if we millennials weren't as bad at.
We were never like this. Ever.
Come on, how
bro, I grew up taking the city bus to school in second grade. I grew up going home by myself with my brother, locking the door, making our own food, washing clothes and shit. Like, we didn't grow up with all this bullshit you guys grew up with, bro. Like, motherfuckers
not only that, I would not
high pods and shit.
On the internet,
bro. Don't put us in that shit. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I was fucking. Oh, wait. No. But hold the thing. We're not as bad as them. I'm going to tell you right now. Is it wrong? Is it wrong though? Is it wrong?
No,
is it wrong though? Is it wrong?
In the way that hold on. I got you. In the context that every generation says that, you're correct. Maybe there's some degenerative line, perhaps in theory. But the fact of the matter is that every generation perpetually does this.
Bro, when we grew up, bro, there wasn't even the internet. What are you talking about? There was no internet, bro. Like, dudes had to go to arcades and play Street Fighter face to face, bro.
I understand. I'm just saying that.
Okay, that's it
thing.
is a perpetual thing, but that's not the argument of it being perpetual. The argument is they're fucking stupid ass people. That's what it is. This version, this version 3.0
really online, bro.
This option, look, these people 3.0, this version 3.0 people are fucking retarded. I'm sorry, they are.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you guys are getting bullied online by fucking text. Like, come on, bro. Like, we have to go outside and fight our bullies face to face, bro.
Dude? Who was the one
who started that?
I'm gonna tell.
It was millennials.
Hold on, wait.
We started that. Yeah, we weren't getting bullied though. We weren't crying and fucking offing ourselves because
stage. I'm gonna say this. You want to know something? You want to know something that's interesting? Because it's not just this generation. I mean, it's not just the new generation. Yeah. Whatever is happening is spilling on to old people too, and it's getting them all fucked up as well. That's why you have grandmas twerking.
Okay,
hold on, wait. Hold on. That's why you have grandmas twerking and shit like that. Bitches twerking, swinging their fucking shitty ass diaper in a camera on TikTok. Here's the thing, right?
Yeah. Jesus.
Why do you know that?
Come on, man. We're going off.
You should never say anything. I brought a person on this show for which the name will not be mentioned, right? I brought the person onto the show. He said what he said about his Xbox and customer service and how Phil Spencer delivered it at his house and kissed it. Or whatever he said. Whatever it was, right? Then got mad at the blowback, right? And hit me up in the DMs, was like, yo, can you take my voice off of there? I didn't authorize that. I'm like, bitch, it's a public forum. What you talk? And it said record when you joined. Then he came up to me and was like, I'm going to sue you. I got my attorneys ready. Where those shit?
Bullshit.
No. What's bullshit? I'll send you a screenshot.
No. I'm saying bullshit. These people talking about they got attorneys or they ain't got shit.
They don't. I told the motherfucker, I was like, do what you gotta do. That's your waste of money. Amber Heard.
I mean, we're living in times where people, get burned with a cup of coffee and become millionaires.
But that's the weirdo thing. Like, this dude took it so personal. His feelings did so deeply, or I didn't even say anything to him. Like when Cody came up on this shit, I could have been like, "What you talking about?" Is he Cody here? I think he did. No, he's still there. If Cody was like, "What you talking about?" Oh no, I could have said this to Cody. You said that the PS5 is collecting dust. What the fuck you talking about? The greatness, the dual sense, the haptics, the ray tracing. What you mean? And we can't. I could have been like, yo, it's so much greatness. How could you say it's collecting dust? We got into this chat, right? And we had a nice conversation. And people are listening and they can enjoy the conversation. No yelling or nothing. It's just a conversation on two differences of opinion, which it's rare nowadays. And he fully articulated what he meant.
You're right.
I fully articulated that I will never buy a fucking a gaming PC like that, but I want to see where his mind was. I'm always curious to see, and this is only for me because I make this tiny ass fucking podcast space thing that gets recorded. That's me trying to understand things, and I try to, as best as I can, provide some sort of truth to a situation. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm trying to be a neutral, because I'm not, but at least I can give people, where their stances are. You know what I mean? Give them a platform to say, hey, this is what I mean, because social media ain't going to allow you to say the shit that you want to say, because it's not that many characters. You know what I mean? It's not that many characters to do it. So that being said, Bless, what you gotta say, man? And then I have to go to Silky.
I don't know how bad I sound, but I'm kind of in my car right now. I'm about to be home.
You sound different.
I don't know.
No, you sound different, but I can still hear you. You're fine.
Is there any echo?
No.
Okay. So yeah, let's see. What's the point of a PS5? It's whatever, I guess. The value is whatever you purchase it for. That's whatever the value is for. It's supposed to it's supposed to fulfill whatever need you purchased it for. So, I mean, if a person purchased it for like multiplats, playing with their friends online, exclusives, then I mean, even after all games go to PC, like it still will be valid because look, I'm still playing with my friends online. Like, I want to play the multiplats in this sort of fashion or whatever the case may be. But yeah, but
why he come in here making sense? You can't do that on the internet, bro. You can't come making sense.
You can't do that. You can't make sense. Nobody wants to hear that. Here's the thing, right? Stone is in here, right? And here's the crazy thing. Somebody read my post about an Xbot, which an Xbot is different from a pony. They function differently, right? I said that Xbots want so badly for PlayStation fans to be pressed for the Spider-Man going on there. They're creating a narrative. I was like, I said the overwhelming majority don't care, which is a factual statement, right? Because otherwise Sony wouldn't have done it. I said, listen, play your game, enjoy it, PC peeps. And because I said that, right, they made a space with my tweet in this bitch, saying I was all sorts of stupid. I don't have any nipples and shit like that. I mean, that's what they said. So anyway, Stone, she's laughed at one of my comments that has nothing to do with gaming, and then fucking Beast of Truth went off. You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
The war is just people, things or people.
Nope, you breaking up. You breaking up. You
Optimus Prime, bro.
Yo, you breaking up.
Yeah, you're botting, man.
Come on, Optimus.
You're botting.
Yeah,
so it's
come back on.
Like, oh, Xbox has.
Nope, I have to mute. Look, I have to mute him because he can't hear us for some reason.
Is a selling point, but.
Wait, who's talking?
Yeah, he can't. He's still talking. He just can't hear us.
Bro,
Game Pass.
Man, botting up the storm.
His connection's so bad that muting him doesn't work.
Wait, who's talking? Wait. Is that Bless? Is that Bless?
No, it's Onyx.
Oh, Onyx. My bad. I muted the wrong motherfucking person. Let me mute him. Fucking Xbot. Let me stop.
You get them Azure servers, bro.
Look, he's still. How is he still talking? I muted him. Are you sure it's him?
Whatever.
It's not working.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me do that again. Hold on. Let me mute it again. Hold on.
I'm sending him a message.
That boy hacked your server, bro.
He said, "Excuse me, I'm talking, motherfucker." Wow. Let me see what his name is. I can't. Hashera?
Online only is the future. Stream is the future.
What's good, man? I'm probably pronouncing this shit wrong. I don't know. Hashira? I don't. Nightwalker.
Oh, Shara?
Hashira.
Hashira. Look like the 8th Hokage.
He ready to fight. Round one.
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on?
Yeah, cool, man. I don't know why people mad about Sony putting games on PC, man. Shit, they've been doing that for a long time.
They have.
That's not the first time they ever did that.
They were doing this on PS.
Y'all just probably never.
They were doing this on PS3.
Yeah, just probably. They was doing this since PlayStation. Since the original PlayStation.
Oh, you talking about all the way?
Spider-Man 1?
No, they didn't do it. No, they didn't have Spider-Man back then.
Stuff like that. That's a different initiative. Yeah, that was with MMOs and things like that.
Yeah, man. Hey, look.
They used to have Planet Side and shit like that. They used to make PC specific games, and that's why I feel like these new age console dudes are like retarded.
At the end of the day, a gamer is a gamer. They don't care what the fuck they play a game at. They play a game on the cell phone. You know what I'm saying?
We're not playing no cell phone games over here, bro.
So you mean to tell me So you mean to tell me if Sony would put God of War on a cell phone, you wouldn't play it?
Nope, bro. I don't even want to. Yo, I'm mad that Twitch makes you use fucking your phone just to use space. I almost didn't want to do this space shit because I like the whole fucking cell phone.
Yo, Thrash, what's going on, man?
I have a good computer. I have a computer with a goddamn perfect microphone, but I gotta use my cell phone. That makes no sense to me.
No, I'm just saying, you know, some people will play a game with a cell phone. They don't care.
Agreed.
That's what I'm saying, you know.
No, I'm just joking, bro. You can play cell phone. I'm just joking.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
so
you can go ahead. I'm sorry.
No problem. Silky, what you gotta say about this?
He has a good point.
So I remember you wanted to go into the thing, and this shit got crack-a-lacking.
Hey, what's good, man? Sorry about that. I'm washing my hands real quick. No, I was listening to the space. You guys made my drive home easy, and then I think I heard Stage and a few other people started the Xbox hate.
Oh boy!
So I figured,
welcome, Silky.
As your residential Xbox guy, I got to come up here and
at least
Xbox's side.
At least you admit that shit.
Let's hear the cap. Come on, Silky. Go ahead.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear the cap.
And I will destroy you, Silky.
Let's hear the man that thinks that guy's upset about PC
Hey, hold on. What'd you say, Cloaked?
I said I would destroy that.
Before you start, you can't destroy a barren field that's been salted. Like,
damn,
it's over, bro. The Roman Legion came through there, and Xbox is a fucking wasteland, bro. Like, you can't destroy anything.
No. I'm gonna be like Frieza. I'm just gonna blow it up.
Hey, Jemiah of Slytherin. You're a PC gamer, right?
Preferably, yes.
What games are you waiting on to come out?
Baldur's Gate 3, the new Diablo 4.
Wait, is this some? Hello?
What?
What the?
Can you hear me?
It's late. I can hear you.
I'm about to get the V Rising.
Hello?
That shit looks fire.
Oh.
Who is that?
Oh yeah.
Can you hear
That's Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Elden Ring came by to ruin PlayStation once again, man.
Well, I'm not
I can hear you guys. I was just confused if you guys could hear me or not because I don't. My phone's not updating. It doesn't show like my voice talking, so I wasn't sure.
No, you got hacked by Megatron, bro. It's okay.
No, but I just what I wanted to say is the whole Xbox hasn't put out games narrative is so terrible.
Name me a game then. Name me like besides Gears, Halo, and Forza.
Okay.
Name me one game you put out in the last 5 years.
Hold on one second. Say it again.
Besides Halo, Gears, and Forza, in the last decade, what new IPs have they dropped that were AAA bangers?
New IP. So you said new IP and it has to be AAA, right?
No. Yeah. Who added all that glaze to it?
I did. No, I did. Because like my thing is, when people, nobody's trying to buy Death's Door or Tunic or whatever the fuck. Let's talk about some AAA games, some high quality God of Wars, some Spider-Mans, some fucking Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima's. What has Xbox been giving to their fan base who bought their console for AAA bangers? They didn't buy the fucking play Recore. You know what I mean? Explain that to me. Like, tell me that in the last 10 years.
Like here's the funny thing about your argument, right?
Can you just answer the question, please? Can you just say what it is? What's the 10? Why you not? What's the glaze?
What do you want? You want Deathloop? You want Deathloop? Is that what you want?
That's not even on Xbox yet.
Wait. Does Xbox not own that? Does Xbox not own that?
Oh my god!
No, you're not. No, you're not. No. Hold on, Silky. Hold on.
Can I ask a question, please?
Come on, Silky.
Bro, I said in the last 10 years, what games have they put out? Not games that they fucking own through a fucking purchase. What games have actually came out on Xbox that took critical acclaim?
Hey, hold up. I don't have much time, right? Hey, hold on. I don't have much time. You name Spider-Man, which is who made Spider-Man? And
this is what always happens, man. Disingenuous.
No,
my God,
no, it's true.
It's a false equivalency.
It's not.
Insomniac has been a second party for Sony since the 2000s.
But the thing is, though, Sony put... Okay, take out Spider-Man. Take out Spider-Man. Great. No, okay, cool. Who gets the fuck? Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Forbidden West. Fucking God of War. Fucking Days Gone. Not Death Stranding. There's so many games I can name. I can say it out there, but you can't name me one game from Xbox? You keep going through this whole goddamn
was a good
history.
Game. Shut the fuck up.
But Death Stranding, I wouldn't consider that either because it's multi-plat. But let's just say... I'm just naming you games that Sony has published. Uncharted 4, fucking Lost Legacy. Name me one game besides Halo, Gears, or Forza. Just one. That's it.
I can help you out there, Silky.
No, I don't need help. What it is
you sure?
Whenever I go to speak, whenever I go to speak, he goes to speak, and I don't have much time. I'm actually hanging out with my father-in-law, so that's why I'm saying I don't have much time.
Oh, great. So you can consolidate the answer then. So just the titles. No ands, ifs, buts, just titles. Since you're rushed, since you're short on time, or whoops.
So No, that was my dog. Yeah, it's big, but so
Shout out
we
to
can
him,
say let's use Flight Sim for example, right?
Oh,
Is that AAA?
God.
No, I'm asking. It may not be your type of game. Is it AAA?
Yeah, that's it. We're asking you to count it. We're not asking you to add ad libs to it. Yeah, that's one. Okay.
No. He
One.
he said name one.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So then
Flight
you
Sim
saying
has been
would you say
Flight Sim has
this?
been
Just
around
name
since
it.
before the Xbox existed, but it counts. Yeah,
I'll allow it.
that's
Objection.
I guess you named one. Great job. The one
I mean,
that came on PC first and got ported over to Xbox and just played like shit. Cool.
it doesn't. No, it doesn't play like. Obviously, you never played it on the Series X.
Okay.
Are you
I mean,
what?
comparatively
Excuse
to
me,
PC,
sir?
It was tough. It
that
was
game was
actually tough to
literally
play
made
it.
for PC and downported. But yeah,
Sir?
I get your point. It probably
No,
looks
I mean,
better on
I'll
Series
give
X.
you Ori and the Blind Forest if you're looking for handouts.
No, I'm not
No,
looking
but
for
they
handouts,
said
bro.
Triple H.
That's
He
not
said
no.
AAA.
It's a
He said
caveat.
AAA.
Yeah.
He said AAA and for Xbox. That's the two
Yeah,
prerequisites.
I'm just glad that
And
Xbox
and
gamers
the
who
three,
bought
the
an
last in
Xbox
the last 10 years as
Scorpio,
well.
who bought a Scarlet, who bought a One X Scorpio edition, for all this power and shit and his narratives. I'm glad they got to play Fight Some at a downgraded version. That's
Hey, man.
amazing.
Hey, no problem,
The
man.
power of the cloud,
Thank you
brother.
for being happy for us, man.
All right.
Hey, I'm gonna let you guys get back to coping on.
Look, he running. He running. Look, he running. He said Flight Sim was out, yo. He said Flight Sim and dropped the mic.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Wait.
I just got on my good mic.
Wait, hold on, everybody, hold on, wait. Can we all agree that Microsoft just needs to be better when it comes to new IP? We can all agree to that, right? Like they haven't put out anything that's brand new. We can all agree to that.
They got
at least.
they got they got to
Yeah.
be better
I'm
with
gonna
releasing
always
good
agree
games.
that well,
They published
I
Cuphead.
agree
I
on
think
that.
that was
I
great.
think we're 5 to 10 years.
Look. Here's what I'm trying to say. You guys like to go back to a very specific timeline when PlayStation started putting out new IP, right? Where what is it, like 5 or 6 games PlayStation? Well, no, I think 4 new IPs. Ghost of Tsushima. I guess we can count Last of Us, even though it came out like 2015? It came
2013.
out.
Don't do this.
2013.
Don't do this argument. Hold on. Wait. Don't do this argument. Hold
No,
on. Wait a
You're
minute.
making it
Let me
worse on
let me
yourself.
turn on my
Actually do the
PS5 real
timeline, Luke.
quick.
Don't do that. Don't
no,
do
I'm
it.
Don't
just
do it.
saying.
Because Sony made more new
No,
IP in the present era
don't
than
do
they
this.
did in the
Hold
future.
on.
Don't do this.
Hold
Don't do it.
hold on, Silky.
Yo,
So
hey,
I wanna
here comes the biggest
I
move
wanna
of the century.
I wanna ask a question to
Yeah.
Silky. Okay. So like they've been making acquisitions this entire time for roughly 4 years now, 4 to
Yeah.
5 years. What good product have they released for the Xbox
Psychonauts 2.
that has Psychonauts 2? What else?
So
That's the
now,
only one I can think of as
like
well.
you're literally talking about 3 or 4 years when games are in a 5-year cycle. Like you do realize we're 6 days away from the Xbox showcase, right? Well, 8 days.
Yes, but considering
Our whole argument was just the last 10 years. We're not saying what they can do in the future. We're saying like just recent.
Hold on.
No.
Do you?
So here's the better way to look at it. Let's look at the list right now. I name a game that Xbox has announced is coming out, and you name a PlayStation game. Do you want to play that game with me?
Hold on. How about we
No.
We've seen gameplay for it.
Hold on. We're not going to change that narrative.
No, it's not the narrative. It's not the narrative. You guys are talking about the past. I'm talking about the present and the future.
Okay, listen.
You're talking about the future.
Hold on, stage.
You are talking about the future, brother.
Hold on. The biggest problem with Xbox is fucking managing their studios.
I agree. I say that all the time.
Yeah, you say Psychonauts. That is a fantastic platform.
Was that shit a GoFundMe before it got picked up?
It was on PlayStation
Kickstarter or some shit.
Xbox, yeah.
Art development as well. Pretty common. So,
but getting acquired did help them develop more into the game.
Yeah, they brought back stuff that was previously taken out, like boss battles and certain areas.
Elden Ring, not to cut you short, but I literally have like maybe 2 minutes left. So
okay, but essentially,
yo, he swears he's smooth, yo.
I gotta ask Silky, how are you playing Sky? How is it playing Scalebound and Fable Legends?
Is that what we're doing? You're naming a Platinum Games game that they apologize for messing up, and then you name it an Xbox game. How's it playing deep down?
I'll give him that.
Bro, can we?
How's that game close?
This man's about to dip out before I even get to.
No. Hey, I'm right here. I'm saying, get your final question off. I'll propose you guys one challenge, and then I'll leave. That's it. What's up?
Okay, so yeah, basically they have been struggling with managing their studios the entire time. Initiative lost basically more than half of the development studio, newly founded. Fable's in development trouble. We haven't heard anything about Indiana Jones in a while. Halo Infinite is in development trouble. They said that, we're only going to do 6 month. We're going to do 1 6-month season. They're like, oh, sorry, we're going to do 2 6-month seasons because they're fucking having trouble. They're making like small changes. It's taking them a long time to implement small changes in like a map or something. Like they're like, if you watch Mint Blintz on YouTube, he talks about how like their engine kind of like fucking sucks in terms of how they designed it. And yeah, in a way they designed it is like making small changes takes them an extreme amount of time, which doesn't really make sense. But
yeah, it has a domino effect. But
yeah,
what are you saying? Because I mean,
yeah. So basically, you have a
ask the question directly, so he can say what he's saying.
Okay, so you have a lot of stuff in the pipeline, but there's not a lot of promise in terms of quality for Xbox's games in general. Psychonauts 2 is the only thing you can even point to. Bleeding Edge, dead, literally dead, like dead.
Who made
what else?
Ninja Theory, right?
Yeah, Ninja Theory.
Yeah.
You look at what's the other game? The game that came out, Obsidian made. That's still in like beta. It's not even a fully out game. Grounded.
Come on, Grounded. Grounded
yeah.
is still amazing. Grounded and Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Rare was dead for.
Hey, does anybody have the?
Rare was dead for almost like 10 years. By the way, like Microsoft wasn't doing shit with them. So yeah, managing studios, like I said, but like yes, they have a lot. Okay, so basically, my question is, they have a lot of stuff in a pipeline, but do you actually have faith in what they're going to actually create because of all these development problems?
So I'll give you one simple answer, right? And this answer is in the form of a question. What was the highest rated publisher last year?
Oh my god. Yo, I'm about to leave. Yo.
Answer the question, Silky. Answer the question.
No.
Answer the question.
That's like saying I can go to anybody, look at a game that they're already making, take credit for that after purchasing them, and I am now the highest. Let's not mention the fact that they left out games that were published by Microsoft that make the score go higher.
Can someone tell me what game is he talking about? I'm a little lost. What is he talking?
Any game that
John, go speak
to publish like 75% in development. And it was about to be put out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but you act like they developed these games and got rid of the studios. So what I'm saying is the same people that put out these very high quality games are still working for Microsoft. That's my whole point. Like, people do this really, really weird thing, right? You act as if Housemarque was owned by Housemarque was owned by Sony when Returnal come out. You act as if Bluepoint was owned by Sony.
Yeah, but they made exclusive for them since the PS3.
No, but that's
Silky. No.
They have basically nurtured those studios, my guy. They nurtured those studios.
Silky,
like Insomniac was nurtured. Like they were working with them for decades.
I agree with him. But let's go with this fact. After they get purchased, the studios get fucking worse. They get fucking
if we're looking at
after they buy studios, they destroy the studio. Lionhead. Like, come on, bro.
Give me 2 examples before I go.
3, 4. That what was that?
No.
Fucking Lionhead. They fucking got rid of Lionhead.
Rare was non-existent for 10 fucking years. Like Microsoft purchased them and then they were like releasing Kinect games. Like what the fuck? Like
for $300 million, more than
Like they were releasing Kinect games. Like what are you doing with one of them? They were releasing bangers in the 90s.
Every studio they have bought have not released the game since they've been purchased. All those fucking
basically besides like Psychonauts, Psychonauts 2 with Double Fine. Who made Deathloop? I forget. It was
Arcane.
Which
is now making Redfall, which is fucking a goddamn mess. Explain that to me, boy.
Look,
and the fact that Deathloop is not on.
Come on, man. Bro. What?
Hey, Jemiah.
It was supposed to come out this summer. It got delayed till next year, bro, because it's a fucking mess. We see the leaked screenshots.
Jemiah, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Send me over the screenshots of you talking to the devs where they say, "Hey, Jemima,
Oh
this game was a
Lord, oh
mess.
Lord, nope.
Right,
See,
go ahead,
you
give me
just
that
right,
page.
yo, bro. I'm
Look
just
at
trying to look.
Starfield. Look at Bethesda and Starfield. Bethesda put out games all the time. Now you can't even put out one game.
So
It's been delayed like 10 times.
wait. So
Where the
it's God
hell
of
is
War.
Hellblade?
Is God of War Ragnarok a mess?
No, it's not a mess. It's about to get
What?
shown and
Wait.
released this year.
Was
What are you
it?
talking about?
Was it delayed? Was it delayed?
It
Was
can't
it?
be
I don't
delayed
think
if
it
it don't
was.
got a release date.
It was
Wait,
initially
they never
delayed. It was
discussed
initially
Wait.
delayed at
Hey,
the beginning of the
guys. I'm
year.
not asking for your backstories. I'm
When
not
It
was
asking
it
was
for your
delayed
initially
though?
backstories. I'm asking, was the game
delayed at the
delayed?
beginning of the year.
Was the game
When?
delayed? Yes or no?
When
Yes.
did they say the game was delayed?
All
It
right.
never had a
So
Last
release
year.
date or
It literally had 2023. Maybe it was delayed internally because they only said 2023.
Elden
They
Ring.
never
maybe,
specified. They never
Elden Ring.
specified when in
They said
2023 until like
They
more
said
recently.
2022. They said 2022 and it's coming out
Game
next
Oh,
year.
Cast.
sorry. 2022. I'm sorry.
So
Hey,
how
I'm
was it
Game
saying
Cast.
delayed?
2023.
Hey, Game
Yeah.
Cast.
So
So
They're
how was
making
it?
you
No,
look
no.
bad.
How was it delayed, Silky?
They're making you. It said 2021. Are you guys not following the
When
news?
did God of War say it was coming out 2021?
When
It never
did
said that.
when did it ever say 2021, bro?
All right.
I
So
think I know what he's talking about. I
On
think I
on
know
the
what he's talking
original
about.
on the original release
yeah,
of the
well,
loadout.
at the
When they
PlayStation,
when they
at the
show when they
PlayStation
show
event.
God of War they show like the Omega
I'll look it up right
symbol,
now.
Yeah, look it
and
up.
then that was it.
Hey, look, stage.
I
Game
can
Cast, you
straighten
guys have
I
my
can
respect.
straighten this up.
Yeah.
But the rest of the little C-bomb, you still got my respect. You're funny. But the rest of the
I was
little
going to say I
lackeys
can
who come to
straighten this
this
up for you,
conversation.
Silky. I
Hey,
can actually explain what you're on about because you're right. It was delayed. It was initially meant to have been released beginning of
2021.
2022.
Now,
No, it wasn't 2021. It was the
it said
beginning.
20.
It was the
Go,
fair.
hey,
No,
hey,
it didn't. No, it
C-bomb, go.
didn't.
C-bomb, go
I
watch the
will
original
go
trailer
get
and
you.
then
I
come
will
back.
go get you that article, mate, and I will send it to your DMs. But it did not say 2021.
wow.
It said the beginning of 2022.
I'm
The
watching
only
the
delay
teaser
it's
now.
had. The only delay it has had is from the beginning of 2022 to the end of 2022.
Can I say something?
Hold on. Silky's actually right. It says 2021.
What the heck?
Was it? I read it wrong then. And fair enough.
I just drove
Fair
to
enough.
London.
I'll do
You
that.
guys are
I'll read it wrong.
crazy. Look, I don't know what you guys do in your spare time. I don't know if you guys really don't look this stuff up, but that was delayed. Horizon Forbidden West was delayed. GT7 was delayed.
Bro,
What is your point,
The
though?
problem here, Silky.
They still came out. They still came out before any other game from Xbox.
Yeah, that and Silky and
hold
on.
Okay, good job, buddy. Hey guys,
Silky,
I gotta
Silky,
go, man. You guys be easy.
Hold
man.
on, Silky. It's that. No, don't leave. It's that and the quality of Xbox's games.
Halo's not even
It's that and the quality of the releases of Xbox's games, bro. It's not just they're being delayed. They're being delayed and coming out in poor quality, bro.
Listen, bro, I am no Sony fanboy, but I will tell you one thing: Xbox.
Halo Infinite was delayed a full fucking year, and that shit still came out a mess with no playlist. That shit had quick play and ranked, my dude. No playlist. It was delayed a year. It was delayed a full fucking year, and it was still like 2 years too early.
Hey,
like there's no defending that.
Some people like to
literally
themselves talk, man. Hey, look, what I want you
to be
do.
fair.
Okay.
When was the last time you played Halo? When was the last time you played Halo?
I have heard guys. I have heard Silky call out the Halo shit. I have heard Silky call out the Halo shit.
When was the last time? No, when was the last time you played Halo, Silky? Before you go.
Gonna dip.
Hey, you should get to know me, Jemiah, before you speak to me, man.
Well, nigga, let's get to the question. What's
he's trying to get to know you. He's trying to ask you the question, bro. He's trying to get to know you.
No, he's asked me a question I've answered before in Xbox and PlayStation Spaces. C-Bomb has heard me say it. I'm pretty sure Cloaked has heard me say it.
I don't know who you are, bro.
It doesn't. Silky doesn't play Halo. He prefers Destiny.
Bro, I can't with this dude, bro.
Thank you for the answer. Thank you for the answer, brother.
Yeah, hey, Jemiah, by the way, Ravenclaw is better, man. I'm out.
That was a terrible defense force for Xbox, bro. That was a terrible defense force.
All right, because there isn't a. So all right, so I'm gonna ask you guys this, right? Because we've already exhausted pretty much everything that has to do with just why to have a PlayStation or whatever the case is. I know there's a lot of people that wonders why to have a PlayStation, like why have it, and there's reasons for it, and we talked about that before, which it is what it is. Like some people like the experience on the console, they don't feel like dealing with it price wise, all that other good shit, the convenience and price. Whether you over time you have to pay more or not, immediately you get to experience a lot of the shit without spending a whole bunch of shit. So that being said, right? My question to all of you PC guys: do you think that Sony will eventually come up with their own launcher / store on PC?
Oh, absolutely.
No. That or they'll partner with like Epic Games or something.
That makes more sense.
I see them making their own launcher so they can get all the revenue and still releasing games on Steam and Epic, because if they didn't release games on Steam, they'd be dumb.
So what about day and date on PC is the question.
I think it's eventuality. Like people fail to see past like a year in time, bro. Like people rarely ever think past whatever in terms of actually looking forward, thinking in the future. I think like I don't know how long it's gonna be, but I think it's an eventuality.
Do you think it's going to be every single game, or you think it's going to be select games? Because it looks like, from what I'm not just being an apologist or whatever the case is, it looks like, right, that each region has their favorite, or each platform has their favorite region have their favorite game. So would it make sense to waste money on putting the? I guess it's not really wasting money, is it? To make different versions of the same game, especially if you have all these people that's doing it. So whether if it sells, it sells over there. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but the Epic Game Store has already got PlayStation games on it that hasn't been on Steam yet. So, I mean,
which ones are those? I'm legitimately asking. I'm not even. Which one?
No, those are not Sony made titles. Those are not exclusive Sony made internal developers studios. Those are just indie games.
I mean,
what game are you talking about?
He's probably talking about like Seafood, but that's not made by a Sony developer. That's an indie game. Like I'm talking specifically in like their studio games. They're not gonna not go to Steam. Like that's missing the bag. Look at what happened when Microsoft's games started to go to Steam. Halo Master Chief Collection sold 3 million in like 2 days. Sea of Thieves sold like 5 million. It wasn't doing shit on. It wasn't doing shit on the Xbox launcher before that. It wasn't doing shit. They didn't even talk about it.
But you gotta look at it. PlayStation invested a lot of money into Epic for a reason.
Oh, absolutely. But they're not gonna. They're into money, bro. They're not gonna stop that Steam bag.
They're not gonna eat that percentage.
They're not gonna stop that Steam bag, brother.
Bro, time out.
People are very.
That's like saying you guys got a cab company, but you're not gonna use any public roads. Steam are the public roads for PC. You have literally to come through Steam, bro. That's it. There's no question about it. They can do whatever they want to do. They can end up like Origin, who goes to Steam, Activision, who put their shit back on Steam. Bethesda,
Ubisoft,
like
who put their shit back on Steam. Like literally, Steam. Some people don't use other launchers. Like legitimately, they'll use like one or two, but literally, it's mostly just Steam. If they're going to use one or two, the second one is most likely something that they physically cannot get anywhere else. Like, oh, I want to play Overwatch. I have to download Activision. I have to download Battle.net. Period.
Even Rockstar
I have to download it.
Been the knee.
Yeah, so Rockstar put their games back on Steam. Like,
so I'll say this, right? Let me say this. If that's the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they put their games day and date and they use Steam and they have their own launch or whatever the case is, because to me, it looks like what they're trying to do is to create a catalog so they can sit there and say that, hey, like, you know what I mean? To give value, because they, what is it, GOG? GOG doesn't have like the amount of games Rockstar doesn't anymore because they slowed down making their games.
Yeah.
Ubisoft possibly, but then they have the same type of game repackaged in a different skin. I mean, I know they do well, but that's pretty much what it is. All these guys don't have the diversity that Sony would have if they make their own catalog. Okay, so let's say that they do make their own catalog and everything's great, peaches and cream, and they start making games day and date with the PC. Would it hurt PlayStation consoles?
No.
In terms of console sales, it would be a minuscule difference considering like. I guarantee you they already ran the numbers. They went on the books. Like I'm guarantee you like they've already looked at what's the what do you call it? The cross between the the intersect between people that PC mainly gamers that still buy console for exclusives or something like that, or
the cross pollination between.
Yeah, the cross pollination. I'm sure they've looked at those numbers and it's probably very minute.
When it comes to all they care about is you buying their game. It doesn't matter where you buy it as long as you buy it from them.
Yeah, and like PC, it doesn't exist in the console market. It's literally it's a different market entirely. It's like mobile to console. It's completely different.
Yeah,
so
I forgot that.
Like,
remember when I think it was Corey said that the PC Sony devs were fucking like begging Sony to put their games on PC.
Yeah, they have the devs want the games to go to PC.
Are PC gamers though, like
they want to use.
It's another stream of income for already produced projects.
Developers, they aren't fanboys. They don't care. They don't care. They want money. They like that multiple people get to enjoy their products. It doesn't matter if you're only on PlayStation or only on Xbox or only on Switch. They want
some people even
their people to enjoy the product.
Platforms.
Yeah.
So my question. So here's another question, right? Because we're about to end this shit. My question here, right, is does it invalidate the purchase of a PlayStation?
No,
it's all dependent on what that person is purchasing the PlayStation for.
Exactly.
It doesn't, because there's always going to be people that want just a simple console.
No, but that again, remember when I was talking about earlier about value proposition? What Bless was talking about was the minuscule decrease in actual value that the PlayStation has if their games go elsewhere to any other platform. For Xbox, that's going to happen as well. But the question is how much. And so the thing is that like in the future, I believe that like it's eventually going to be a thing where the majority of people are going to be playing their games conveniently wherever they want. So Sony is going to dip their hand in it now and get as much money as they can. But eventually, when that bug really hits and the actual market responds, Microsoft's doing their thing right now, but they're kind of jumping the gun.
They don't have the content to
pretty
make that
much
work.
Pretty much what it comes down to is
so they have to put their stuff on PC. Sony knows that it's not sustainable for now, but when it happens, they'll be there already.
I just want to say, Gamecast, I have linked an article to your Discord, mate, relating to the PSN PC launcher that they're working on.
Wait,
yeah, I saw that. I saw they have like the what do you call it? Like a LinkedIn. Somebody's trying to. They looks like they're trying to hire somebody to do it. I remember seeing something like that, which is fine. But the argument that I have, right, because I had a small little viral tweet when I sat there and said that I don't care about the game going out to most people. Don't care about it being on PC. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's going to buy it, they're going to buy it. They want to just basically be a house. You know what I'm saying? That provides, but you know what I mean? That it really they're moving to services. You know what I'm saying? So I think the PlayStation Plus thing is definitely going to be a thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's what's going to be really important, not necessarily the hardware. I don't think they're a hardware company, and I think that they are still going to make consoles. And I think that eventually, here's a truth that PC people don't want to talk about. This is going to be uncomfortable for you guys.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Eventually, I do too. It is bullshit. Yeah, exactly.
It's not. You don't even know what I'm going to say. What I'm going to say.
You're going to say eventually that it's going to catch up. And it's not going to make a difference, but it's never going to catch up.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, I didn't say catch up.
Consoles can't catch up to PC. That's not.
I think he's going to say PS Plus is going to be on PC.
Probably.
Or no?
That's what
there's a higher
I think. No, I think
Plus being on PC than anything else. Like,
yeah, I think it will. I think it will, but it'll be built into the launcher. So, but Jemiah was right. But I didn't say catch up. I didn't say catch up. Eventually,
mustard.
How much of a difference is it going to be? To the point where I'm not saying. I mean, unfortunately, that's the truth. Eventually, the roads are going to slow down for just technology and visual technology in general, unless somebody comes up with something that's completely different. You can only display a certain amount of fucking polygons eventually. If you could display 5 trillion polygons on the screen at once, and the PC can do 10 trillion, you're not going to notice the difference. It's guaranteed.
Yeah. Once we're like,
it all comes
the
down
console
to
does
whatever
6K.
It's comfortable with.
The console does 6K. The PC does 8K. Like
there's still a difference.
At that point, yeah. I mean, at a certain given time, I think like consoles are gonna just turn to like streaming. Or
no, I don't think it's going to do anything. Our internet infrastructure is ass. It will never do that. I can tell you that.
I meant like like a little like a dongle or some shit, like something that's
what
like,
I'm saying. You're saying something
like
more
minuscule.
Internet backbone to do that though.
No, you need the internet. You will be surprised on how horrible. All right, who's that?
Oh no.
Who's talking?
What happened, bro?
Anyway,
I don't know. Somebody's mic.
Somebody's saying something. I would say you'd be surprised on how poor the U.S. infrastructure is. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of reasons as to why, which I'm not going to get into it right now. But it is, just know that, do your research. It's very poor. What I do think is that the PS5 or the new PlayStation, the new Xbox, the new Nintendo, whatever it is, I mean, there is still going to be a difference. It's just it's going to be like, it's still going to be a low barrier of entry, and that's going to be the end of it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that, if you don't got time for that, by purchasing a whole fucking PC or dealing with parts and shit, then you buy a console and sit your ass down and be glad about it. If you want to have customization, then you buy a PC and you sit your ass down and be glad with that too. That's the two options.
It comes down to the consumer, whatever they're comfortable with. That's all it is.
PlayStation saw that gamers were moving over. You were talking about the overlap. Now, PlayStation saw, Andrew House saw that, and he stated this. You can actually look this up. He said that he saw that PlayStation gamers are moving over to PC. They saw the overlap.
Yep, so Cody is one of Cody is one of them. If he's still in here, Cody is one of them.
Yeah,
is he in there?
They saw that. They saw that during it first started during the PS4 generation, because that's when I switched as well, because the PS4 Pro, I bought the PS4 and Pro, and I was like, bro, these consoles, this performance trash. And I was like, fuck it, bro, let me just get a PC. And I fucking best gaming purchase I've ever made.
I think that either
I'll
one or two.
This though, real quick, Josh, before I'm on the bounce.
I'm about to close shop too.
But the thing is this, bro. It's like, you have a car, right? That's going to probably be your best form of transportation. But people also have bikes. They have skateboards. They have scooters. Yeah. They have rollerblades. I don't understand this whole mentality that these people have, that like, I will only have a PS5 or I'll only have a PC. Like, bro, like you're not into the games then. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what platform you're on, they have to have the games you want to play. So if I wanted to play Spider-Man, I bought a PS4 Pro. I mean, I want to play Horizon. That's why I bought a PS4 Pro after not even having a PS3 at all. I was on PC only. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I'm not going to either wait for 3 or 4 or even a year or even 6 months to play this game. If I want to play it now on launch, I'm going to buy that platform. That's why I have a PS5 and a PC. Yeah. Like, I don't understand this mentality where people can't just be like, okay, I prefer PS5, but I do realize that PC has, a higher fucking fidelity ceiling than my console. And so if I want to get the best of the best.
Yeah. Now that you mention this, right? I'm looking at this story now, and I'm gonna say this in closing, right? Because it sounds, I said before, right, that the duration between the console launch and the PC launch is going to be a year at the minimum. I'm going to actually shorten that up and say 3 months.
3 months?
I don't know about that. It depends on the sales.
Oh my god, probably. Lovely.
I say 3 months because of how impatient people are nowadays. Now I'm looking at it, and people are willing. I'm looking at Final Fantasy, what was done with the PC, and how it was released and shit like that. Or this older games. I'm looking at how they are operating with that one. See, and then here's the last. Huh?
Wouldn't that be based more on porting?
If they're working in tandem,
Yeah.
And all of the assets are there. You know what I'm saying? So they could be working together for that one. They got a couple different porting teams.
Yeah,
they got a couple different
porting
porting teams.
Yeah.
So I think, honestly, realistically, it may not ever go day and date, but it'll be very fucking close. And there's the reason why. They gotta be nose to the ground when they're making the game. They can't afford it being on PC because they have to make sure that closed box works. So while they work on that and they give the code to Nixies or whoever it is, it's going to take some time to do it. Probably 3 months or 6 months.
I mean,
my question,
it could happen.
I was gonna say, I mean, typically a PC port takes longer than that. So if they're working in tandem, they can release them at the same time. Nixus, it used to work with Square Enix all the time. It released Square Enix would release the console port, and then Nixus would do the ports of PC, and it would be fantastic. That's what they typically did. So they worked in tandem with the game developers at the same time.
Depends on how much, depends on the undertaking and shit like that. So I'll say this, right? Because I know you can do it at the same time. You can, and make sure that the shit's patched decently and stuff like that. Maybe give themselves about 3 months to get everything, situated or whatever the case is. Because they're going to have to really make sure it comes out well for the consoles. But in my head, right, what I see in the future is that the PC is going to become a little bit more like console in terms of convenience, as it's been doing. And then the console is going to become more like PC. So the difference is that the consoles are going to be a closed box. No, you can't run 4K 100. They are now, but more so.
But through what method? Because like right now they're using like the iPhone model method, where basically the mid-gen refreshes and stuff like that.
Basically, consoles are definitely becoming more and more like PCs. Back on PS3, you never got graphical options. Turning off motion blur?
Yeah.
What game? Like performance or graphical settings? What game? Turning off chromatic aberration? What game?
So rare. It was so
hardware parts and shit, SSDs and shit.
It was so rare. It was so rare. But here's the thing. You know how people were like, Cody was in here earlier. Yeah, Cody was in here earlier, right? And still, you can have closed and still have options, though.
Yeah,
to speed up the process.
But that's what I'm just saying. Like they are slowly but surely making themselves more complicated as each generation, like PS4 to PS5. Slowly but surely, they're just making themselves more complicared. They're still more convenient, but their
options are not going to be as granular as a PC. So all you'll get is, and I think the PC is going to start adopting this shit too, but they will have more options on the PC because it has to be. You have different hardware configurations, but since it's a closed box, you got off, low, medium, and high. That's what you're going to have, and you get to pick. Or maybe they have recommendations. You know what I mean? Maybe it'd be so simple, like, oh, you like frame rate, or you like clarity, or you want a little bit of both. So, like, you know what I mean? Frame rate, balance, and quality, or whatever the case is, something like that. It's going to be like that with every single game, but it's going to be better. So instead of you going down to like Dying Light 1080 fucking p, just to have 60 frames a second, which that's engine based, but just to have 60 frames a second. Yeah. These mid-gen refresh is going to have like, okay, so now it's 1440p, more 60 frames in ray tracing versus 4K or some sort of reconstruction technique to do whatever the case is. It's just that you won't see the back end of it. You know what I'm saying? You won't see how it's happening in the back end. Where on the PC, you can get down and dirty with it. So if you want to be more technical with it, fine. You go to PC. If you just want something that could be like, okay, I have like a little bit of a, I want a little bit of flavor here or there, whatever the case is, you'll be able to do it there. That's what I think the future is going to go to. In terms of Sony's overall arcing goal, I keep using Horizon Forbidden West as the rubric here. And one of the reasons why I called it out when I said that Ghost of Tsushima was going to have multiplayer, and I said this a year before it happened. When I was playing Ghost of Tsushima, I noticed that the game played like it was anticipating multiplayer. Certain things, I was like, that seems like a multiplayer type thing. And then sure enough, it came out. They already have assets for the huts, the grass, the structures, or whatever the case is. And they don't need to redo things for the multiplayer. And the game was basically built to take into account multiplayer. Horizon is another game that is very, very, very multiplayer built. When you look at how they have the coils and how you have the weaves and the looting system and all the different things that they have in there. Only the Horizon Forbidden West patch, it is going to be like a Monster Hunter. But here's the thing: maybe they section off a third of the map, so you can get your horse or whatever the case is. You get 4 people, and all they would need is just a machine AI specialist and a AI and a modeler to do these different seasons or whatever the case is. That they're making these games so they won't have R&D for the multiplayer aspect to it. You know what I mean? That's how they're making the games, which goes along with this games as a service initiative that they're pushing. I don't see a problem with that necessarily because it's not taken away from the game. You're doing both. You're using the same grass, trees, and everything else. All you gotta do is rearrange it, or maybe just cut off part of the map and just put your characters there. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Hey, you gave me such a crazy idea, dude. Like, hey, what would happen? I mean, I know there's other games that already do this. They did this, but what if Horizon Zero Dawn, or Forbidden West, later on, like in another sequel or something like that, they made multiplayer where, you could have create your own character and stuff like that, and you just start going out in the world and just start trapping crazy difficult bots and stuff like that.
I told. This is what I think is going to happen,
bro. That
wait. I keep telling people this, right? They're going to release this shit, right? I don't know when, but sometime this year, right? Because they're riding off of the launch and stuff like that. I guarantee you're going to have the screen is going to be black, and they're going to fade in the Guerrilla Games sign, right?
Yeah.
And then you're going to see the ground kind of like panning over, or the camera panning over the ground, and you're going to see 4 people, legs running towards the cliff, and all 4 of the motherfuckers going to jump off the cliff and use their shield wing, and then you're going to have one guy going to have the melee guy, and he can do rage, and you're going to have another guy that does the fucking arrows, and the other guy that does traps. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to take down a Thunderjaw because that's their marquee machine, and they're going to be like. And they're going to have the Thunderjaw collapse on the camera. And then they're going to be like, Horizon Zero Dawn, whatever. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday in the theater near you. Or some shit like that.
That would be heat, low-key, though. That would be heat.
The hell?
Dude, imagine if there was multiple of them coming after you. That's when you really need a team.
But I think honestly that's what they're trying to do. Like the new, it'd be crazy. Me and Jemiah was talking about this shit. It was fucking fire. Jemiah said this shit first because he thinks that the new Ghost of Tsushima is going to be like really ninja shit. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hardcore ninja shit. And imagine instead of you being out in the fucking grassy field and stuff like that,
it's in the
you being be in the mainland dynasty type shit. And you got to sneak up on these fucking things. You got to run up and look. They have know-how because they made Sly Cooper. You running across the roofs and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, imagine cherry blossoms blowing in the wind, nigga. You get the full moon in the background. You one of those big ass Shogun castles and shit, nigga. Fighting on the ledge. Come on, bro. This shit is ridiculous.
Dude, whatever they're planning, yo. Whatever they're planning, yo, it's going to be fucking crazy. It's going to be absolutely crazy, and I'm here for it because you know what? Even though they're doing the fucking, I can't believe Chung-Li is trending on Twitter. 15,000.
You know why?
Fucking.
You know why?
Why?
Bro, booty. I'm gonna say it straight up. Say it.
That ass.
Mean it.
That ass.
That yes. Okay. No, but Chun-Li's always been one of the best players anyway. But yeah, at the same time, Jesus Christ.
Them cheeks.
Oh, you talking about Chun-Li? Of course. You talking about the original waifu?
The original.
I really like the fact that they didn't bend the knee and start covering Chung-Li up and shit like that. Because you know what's funny?
Bro,
that's the last.
Japanese dudes, developers, they love fan service. They always give fan service, bro. That's why I respect anime, bro.
Niggas, but here's the thing, right? They already had problems with Dead or Alive. They were like, oh, that's so juvenile. Here's the thing. I don't understand how a game developer, right, could depict a woman that's scantily clad, right? And then you get a lot of fucking heat, but then you have Cardi B and everybody else is barely fucking. They have a string on and a tissue, and that's empowering. That always bothered me How can you allow it that way, but don't allow it any? Let's say a woman created fucking Street Fighter. She wanted it that way. Like, what are you going to say to her? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, a woman's attributes. It's that's what it is, and so is a man's attributes. You know what I'm saying? Like when they make a character for a guy, he's not going to be some fucking fat ass slob. They usually pretty buff. I don't see the problem with highlighting the assets of the human anatomy. I don't get it. But
this was
way,
highlighted with Devil May Cry and Bayonetta. I mean, they both the same, made by pretty much the same dev, I believe, and made an attractive male character and an attractive female character, very strong in their sexuality, and very charismatic. So I mean, and nobody really attacks either of them.
They tried it, but it wasn't going to happen because the Japanese fans.
I think it's
Westerns that have a problem with it.
Yeah,
it's funny too because that shit came out on PC,
not devs,
right?
Western journalism. Sorry.
No, I know. They want to find something, because they fucked up their own bodies and now they want you to appreciate it. Either way, the thing is, right? I looked at the PC mods of Resident Evil 3 remake. Y'all niggas need to stop that. Stop that. That is awful.
They go crazy with this shit. That shit's so funny.
I saw a fight and I was looking up the characters and YouTube don't block it either. The characters, I was like, I didn't know that they had a secondary character in the remake. I thought it was just whoever it was. So I was looking at the people fighting. I was like the last fighting scenes. I was like, I ain't buying that shit. I had no idea people was following that nigga like that. They made him and rendered his whole penis. The last boss,
crazy.
They were fighting each other butt ass naked, yo.
One thing I'm saying about PC bosses, they're never sexist, bro.
PC fellas, yo, they just do whatever the fuck they want. You love this shit.
They put Mr. X in the fucking song, bro.
This shit is it's funny as hell, bro.
I was so mad. I said, yo, they need to. I said they need to stop this. This motherfucker fucking was grappling him, trying to choke him, yo. Fucking dick to dick, yo. I said, come on, YouTube. And the funny thing is, on YouTube, right? Earlier during this fucking podcast, this shit is streaming on YouTube, right? Earlier in the podcast, right? Somebody mentioned the reviewer for Days Gone. He said, "Oh, it was some ugly white bitch." I'm sorry. He said it was some ugly white girl that reviewed it bad. Don't you know that YouTube blocked his comment because he said ugly and white girl?
YouTube is mad stupid. They allowed that.
Yo, I took a screenshot of this. I couldn't believe it, yo. But
that shit.
But two niggas fighting butt naked and shit in the rain, you allowed that shit. I'll allow it. I couldn't find titties that well. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing is, like when I was looking, what's her name, Jill? That was hard to find on YouTube. But those dicks weren't.
But
I'm
the dicks are easy.
Bro. I was like, all right, PC people, yo, all right. You.
Hey, I saw a Jill Thick mod. I was like, yeah, yo. I think Hard 8 played it with a Jill Thick mod. I think I saw that.
Like the lady Dimitris mods are out of control, bro. like that's probably why this shit sold so many copies because of the mods, bro. Like for real.
People dead ass buy games for mods though. That shit is
they are
crazy,
amazing. Though. Do you guys know what they did to Final
Fantasy? I buy Bethesda game for mods. Oh yeah, Tifa. Yeah.
They went ham with that.
So I want to say this before I go. So anybody that jumped into, let me see, I'm a dip out. It seems like a cute community here. Dime me up when you have a motor. Okay, cool. I'm gonna heart this. Anybody want to say anything before I part ways? Because I'm gonna be playing some Dying Light too.
I was just gonna say. I'm definitely hoping for a no console future for myself. I I said on the last your last spaces, like I literally just want to have only one platform. Like that's like it just makes the most sense. It's just everything.
It will never happen. It will never happen.
Why do you say that?
I don't want that.
Why do you say it will never happen? Because
there's always because there's you getting your game anywhere. Yes, that's a possibility. Getting rid of consoles, no.
I'm saying I'm getting rid of every one of my consoles. I'm saying
yeah,
me.
Cool. No, cool. I'm talking about like a consoleless future. No, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
that won't happen.
But yeah, like the only people I'm waiting on is just Sony, man. I need Sony to just have everything to arrive, and this PS5 will be my last purchase console. That ass. Like I play all the I don't know.
They probably already know eventually what's going to happen, and it's going to happen. Yo, H2O, yo, what you gotta say real quick before we close shop, and then reckon.
What I wanted to say is that earlier about what you said about like the what's it called, fan service. I really like the fact that Japan gives fan service, because censorship is getting crazy. The way these companies are developing like these ethics like departments so that they can censor stuff, I'm like, why would you do that? You know, they keep censoring stuff, going further and further. But
the reason why they're doing it is because, see, everybody wants to find something to fight for to make themselves feel important, and this is why we're in the place that we are in now. That's exactly what it is. It's these fake ass activists they're doing this, activism. I guess is that the word? I'm fucked up right now. But they're doing this. They're doing this because they're trying to prove they want to be the first.
Everywhere, bro. There isn't anything.
I know. Somebody got mad because I said I like my woman thin.
You have a preference? How dare you have a preference?
That's all I like. Like I don't like.
How dare you?
I don't like thick. I like thin. Right. And she was like, I like what I like. She was like, how fucking dare you, you fat demon, you ugly motherfucker. I was like, because I have a preference? Are you
real? But a woman says I want
this bitch had me speaking in fucking, she had me speaking in fucking British. I was like, that's not how you feel though.
Yeah, that ass. Fuck me up. But a woman saying, "Oh, I want my man to be at least 6 foot tall and make six figures." No one bats an eye. 100K likes on Twitter. No one bats an eye.
I understood at the moment what happened, because what ended up happening was, you got somebody. A lot of women are actually in places of power, and I feel like that's not the problem. It's just that the type of woman that got in there in a disingenuous way. There's a lot of laws that are being passed because they feel a certain way. Like, that's the reason why Johnny Depp got himself in there. Like, this whole believe all women.
Oh, I'm glad.
Believe all women?
Absolutely not.
Believe all actual victims. Fuck all that. Believe all women. Believe all victims.
But that was a hashtag that people was really jumping on. They was like, believe all women. What if she's lying? I'll put it to you like this. Right? I have sisters older than me, right? And I'll let Reckon go. And then we can close up. I have sisters, right? This one girl, Miriam, that's her name. She sat there and was messing around with this dude. She said that her wardrobe was looking kind of thin, right? So she's going to say that she's pregnant. She told the guy that she was pregnant, right? And he freaked out. Oh, I mean, I would love to have the kid, but, I'm not ready for this. She was like, I mean, I understand. I mean, but I don't have the money to do an abortion. So, like, how much is it? $500? She took that money and she bought herself a new wardrobe.
Oh,
what the?
That's my sister,
bro. Woman she played the game. She played the game. She played the fucking game. Like,
that's why I said it's supposed to be even across the board. It's not just about a woman, because men get victimized just as much as women. It's just in different ways. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I read some stuff online. Financially, I read some shit online, right, where this black girl was like, black women should stop fucking with black dudes. I told you guys, stop having kids because black guys ain't shit. And I was like, does anybody understand the logic in this?
And
that's like wrong though.
And if you're a man and try to speak against that, you're gonna get fucking shut the fuck down. You're gonna get shut the fuck down. So you can't even say anything.
But you can't even say anything. It's turning little bit by little bit. And I'm here for it, right? But the thing is, you fuck with a horrible dude, right? And I look, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I do some wild shit like outside of this shit. I went to a nude beach, right? And I met this black chick. Cool. I'm sitting there talking to the girls over there. Everything was fine. I walked away because I felt like things were getting a little awkward. I mean, we were butt ass naked. She had like a thing. She had her titties out, but she had like a towel or whatever. So I walked away from the situation, right? And I started talking to the clique of people that I was with. So she followed me. 5 minutes later, she was like, "Oh, I heard that you're going to Texas. Here's my number." I smashed the next day. Right? And you know what happened? As I was smashing,
what?
The condom, like, you know what I'm saying, the shit broke, right? So she was like, "Don't worry." I was like, "Let me go downstairs to get the condom." She was like, "Don't worry about it." She don't even know me from Adam's house, cat. So she would have got fucking
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, huh?
She said, "Don't worry about it. Like, just keep." I said, "No." She was like, "Oh, that kind of ruined the mood and everything because you went down. You know, you got to go downstairs and because she was in a hotel before she went back to Dallas." And she was like, "You gotta go downstairs. You gotta do this, and I'm not gonna be in the mood when you come up there." Like, she was kind of coercing me to do it, and I was like, "No,
fuck
bitch.
that, bro. What? Nah, she bugging the fuck out, bro. I'm
like,
heading
I'm
the fuck out.
all the way good." And you know what I'm saying? So like shit like that. Then I went to Florida recently, right? Girl with 666 tattooed on her chest because she was born right, June 6th, right? And that's because we were asking her what it was or whatever. So she's sitting there. My friend was like, "You're too nervous, Josh. You gotta relax. You gotta relax with these girls, man. You keep thinking they're out to get you." And I'm like, "Bro, you always gotta vet your shit. Period." Yeah. No, you don't gotta do that, yo. You don't gotta do that. I said, "All right, I bet, right? I'm gonna sit by the sidelines." I backed up, right? He texted me. He was like, "Yo, Josh, where you at? Where you at?" I was like, he was like, "You need to have fun, loosen up." So I went upstairs to go and check up on him because he was a little drunk. And when they went to the thing, he put his arm around her, just normal shit, and she moved it. But he's drunk, you know what I mean? So his perception isn't all the way there. He put his arms on her again, and she moved it a second time a little bit later. All of a sudden, right? I walk away from the situation, but kind of analyzing the things. I was a designated driver. I couldn't drink the way I wanted to. I see this dude getting escorted out the fucking club, talking about some no means no. I said, imagine if she called the fuck. I know him. He would never do anything other than just put the arm around. I know him. He would never do anything like that. She told the bouncer, but imagine if, right, she called the cops. It would have been a different outcome. And on top of that, right, when we were talking to her for the first time, right, he says, "Hey, how you doing?" She was like, "Oh, I'm fine." This is what he's talking to her. He was like, "What brings you over here?" She was like, "I just came from work." He said, "What do you live around here?" "Oh, I came from Jersey." So I told her, I was like, "Hey," I said, "What part of Jersey? I know some people there, right?" She gonna sit there and was like, "Are you going to kidnap me?" I said, "Oh no, that's a red flag because I already know what the fucking situation is." I said, "Why would you say that?" She was like, "No, because my friend came. She went to the club and she went home with this white guy and then she got gangbanged by 5 Russians." I said, "Is she okay?" "Oh no, she's fine."
I mean,
Nope.
If that shit actually happened, then yeah, that's a fucking problem.
It didn't fucking happen. But you can't, like I said, you can't believe of everybody. Like, I know my friend would never do anything. The only thing he'd do is touch a bitch's shoulder. That's about as far as it goes. He got that nervous energy shit. So,
I mean, all right. I'll say this: like, you can't. To be fair, you can't just like expect a woman to not feel a certain way. It's dependent on her comfort level as well. Like, that person. She doesn't know that person.
He walked away from her. Looking for me. And when he came looking for he walked away looking for me. Well, when he retrieved me, they got him and escorted him out. He was already going.
Well, I didn't know that part of the story though.
Yeah, it was a lot of shit. I'm like, I'm trying to skip it and remove pieces of it and shit like that for time constraints, but like it was bullshit. Either way, you don't believe just all women. You guilty. I mean, innocent to proven guilty. You got to prove that shit.
You gotta.
That's the bottom line.
Everything's concrete.
I'll just say this at the end. Like, there needs to be a fucking some type of criminal something. Like, it should be criminal something. It should be a definite crime if a woman cried the wolf on rape on a person, that person serves fucking like 20 years and then later on be like, oh, actually I was lying. And then that person gets released. He doesn't get that 20 years of his life back.
Yeah.
That woman needs to be fucking she needs to be prosecuted. If she literally just lied, she needs to be prosecuted. Period.
Not to bring up like some dark ass shit, but like Emmett Till, right? He whistled at me. They killed him, right? We already know the story.
Yeah.
On her deathbed. I have to
actually, no, he didn't. Like,
I feel so bad after I lived a life of luxury. He didn't whistle. He just walked in front of me, and she died.
Like,
come on, bitch.
A lie can literally ruin a person's life.
Yeah,
and people have no fucking empathy. Like, just because he doesn't do what you want or you don't like him, like the fact that you ruined this man's life, prospects of job opportunities and career, and just like absolutely insane.
It doesn't matter because who cares? I noticed that society, Record, I swear I'm gonna let you go after this. I know society thinks of men as fucking just machines. Somebody made a space. Was like, do men have feelings?
Yeah, emotions. I was like, huh?
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Come on.
Like, we're lifeless organisms.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, do men have feelings? And I guarantee you, the chick was really like thinking like, oh, they really do have feelings and stuff like that. It's just, it'd be weirdo shit that these journalists be doing with these games and stuff like that. Like, everything has to be like fucking, you can't take a stance on being a heterosexual anymore, like for men or women. Like, that's too offensive to be heterosexual.
We're in a very weird time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fine to do what you want to do or whatever the case is. But like, even when I was going on to the dating apps, right? I went on to the dating apps and I got hit up by only transsexuals.
Yeah.
And the reason why, right, is two reasons. First reason is when it comes down to women, if they see somebody that keeps themselves in shape, they automatically will say, "Oh, he's cocky," or all the women are trying to be or going to go after him, and I don't want to compete.
Or you know what I'm saying? Or something.
That's always the case. So if I'm just walking around, he already has girls. It's always the assumption. Always the assumption. It can't be anything else but that. So they won't say anything. They'd be like, oh, I like Game of Thrones. I love the last season. And you get extra points for Game of Thrones and everything like that. And I'm like, cool, I like Game of Thrones. What episode did you like? Because I like this. I'm not responding to him because I guarantee you he has like 5 bitches. Okay. So the only ones that were responding was the transgender ones, right? So she came to me, right? Or I don't know, he, she, it, I don't know. So she came to me and she goes, I'm a transgender. I'm basically a woman. And I'm like, I'm not interested in that. What I don't understand, but the problem is, I'm not interested. That's why. Oh, so you're homophobic? Transphobic?
That was never said.
I never said that. Then what's the problem?
That was never said.
So I just blocked her.
Like, having a preference is having a preference.
Doing this. And then
you're not a bigot or some type of homophobe or something like that.
Now you are. You be like, a preference, like, they be like, let's say I'm going to get married next year, right? I'll be like, oh, she's the love of my life. We're about to go to Bahamas. Those pictures are offensive. What about the trans community? What? Like, who wants to see that? Who wants to see that misogyny? Like, why would you, like, it's like men gotta be real sensitive and shit like that. We gotta be like women, basically. There's a lot of weird old shit, and it's not women's fault either. There's something else going on. I'm not quite sure. I can't put my finger on it, but something's fucked up. And I can tell you right now, if I get
stuff,
bro, because everybody wants to beat people to the punch. They say that, oh, I came up with this, and I'm fighting for the good fight before you did, because it's all social media points. It's social media that did it. But I had last story. I had this girl that hit me up. I did a double take. He looked like a whole nigga with a beard and everything. But a lot of times I was just wondering what, like the audacity, like why would you do that? So I opened the message up. I know this is weird, but I'm transitioning into a male. But I do like you. I hope that's not too much. And I was like, did she just take the long way to heterosexual?
Transitioning into a male?
She's transitioning. I know, right? It fucked your shit up, didn't it? She's transitioning to a male. And
my question. Hold on. All right, you go. Go ahead.
She's transitioning to a male, but she wanted me to take her out on a date.
What? So you said it was like a beard and everything. So it was obvious, right?
She looked like a dude because she was on her testosterone, and she already gotten rid of the her chest because she had a picture of her like a beach. I did the whole research. I couldn't believe what I was reading.
So
I was like, "What is this?"
My question is, why are you accepting these matches if you're a heterosexual male?
I didn't. These? You want to know something, right? On Tinder, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that I selected female, right?
Yeah.
And I selected date range and the area range, right? So because of the probability, like every man will do, if you haven't done it before, you a liar. You just go swipe right. Don't even look. And then you can then you can kind of like pick, and then you can pick who you want and who you don't want, right?
Oh man.
So that's what happened. Yeah.
You were just swiping right nonstop. It was like, oh damn. You're
so
like,
they was like, you got a new match. I was like, oh sweet, I'm gonna give me some pussy tonight.
Yo, that's crazy.
It was nothing but dicks and folded up whatevers. So thing is, she goes and she goes and she says this, and I'm just reading it. I was like, what the fuck? Because I selected this shit, and the thing is, it's offensive to tell a transgender that they're not a woman. It's offensive.
Yeah, refer to them how they feel. Yeah.
I know, but that's when they go on a dating website, right? They say that they're a woman.
But
that's what their quality.
And biologically, they're not. Just saying.
I mean, I guess Tinder just has to be more progressive. I don't know.
That's my point, and that's the point of what did he bounce out? He bounced out. Wait, hold on. Oh, there you go, and then done. I guess he bounced out. But that's the point of it. I guess he was like, I can't do this fucking conversation. That's cool though. But that's the point. All these companies are doing this weird thing where they're like, you kind of have to abide by it. You know what I mean?
Everywhere.
C-Bum. What's going on, man? Before I close up,
I just wanted. I came back in and I heard you talking about like the trans and all that lot. I've only got one thing to say to that, man. Blast the shit out of the back doors, reach round and think you've gone all the way fucking through.
What?
Wait, say that one more time?
Say that again?
Blast the back doors out, mate. Reach round and think you've gone all the way through.
Nice. I knew you was going to say that. I knew you was going to say that foolishness. The foolishness. Are you insinuating?
Oh, I'm not insinuating
that would go all the way.
If you shag a chick with a dick, mate, you can reach round and give yourself a confidence boost and think you've gone all the way through. That's all I'm.
Oh Lord have mercy, y'all y'all niggas from the UK are some different. Y'all different over there, yo. Look.
I'm so confused. Wait, I was like, wait, what did he just say? I'm confused.
I knew what he was saying. I was like, I didn't think he was going to really like say that shit in the open like that. But you know what though? You ain't the only person that's from the UK that said that shit in that same accent too.
One of them. It's a great experience. I recommend it.
Fuck it, bro. Yes, bro. Fuck it.
I was like, man, and here I am trying to be hetero as hell. I don't even like brushing my teeth correctly. Tired of this shit, man. I told y'all about that shit.
Like, bro, this is like, I don't know. It's kind of sus, bro.
Yo,
brushing my teeth.
I told you I was brushing my teeth. I'm like, yo, I gotta go kind of far back to get these wisdom teeth. I'm like, bah!
How else are you gonna train your gag reflex, man? Come on.
I like this shit feels so ugly. I was like, this shit feel ugly, yo. I'm not trying to do that shit, yo. I was like, bitch, I need to be an electric brush or something like that, because this shit, you know, I mean, it's already like white shit coming out your mouth and shit, so that makes it even worse, yo. Dribbling and shit, yo. This shit is just not a good look. Brushing your teeth as a straight guy is just all across the board not a good look, yo.
It looks.
I'm like, y'all gotta.
Wrong. You're right. It looks so wrong.
I'm like, what do them Africans do, yo? They got straight white ass teeth. They chew grass. I'm about to do that shit, yo. Bam, chew grass. That'll do it. All that fiber clean out your teeth.
Become a cow, bro? What the fuck?
Yo, I see. Yo, on YouTube, there's this black chick, yo. She got straight ass teeth, right? And people be asking her questions and shit because you know it's different to be black. Yo, she was like, they always ask me, why is my teeth so white? I brush my teeth with the grass root. I said, no, I was like, you a lying bitch, yo. You lying. Ain't no grass root cleaning your teeth like that.
You looked that shit up?
No, that's what she was saying. It's a whole bunch of YouTube shit just pop up on my fucking feed. I'm about to tell my fucking dentist that shit. Hey, I'm brushing my teeth with grass.
Hey, man. Hey, you didn't do the research. Maybe there's a good chance she ain't lying. I don't know.
She a liar, yo. I ain't stupid, yo. You ain't catching me off guard with that shit, yo. Brush your teeth with grass roots. I was like, oh shit, I almost believed her for a second, yo. I was like, how can she lie like this, yo? Brush my teeth with grass roots. I'm like, oh man, see.
Hey,
I gotta ask you guys. I gotta ask you guys this question, yo. This is gonna be terrible, yo. Terrible. I'll ask you.
About to be cursed.
Is there any race would you not fuck with?
Oh God. Trying to get people canceled.
Not really. I mean, no. I can't think of any.
I mean, because it could be a lot of reasons, right?
Like purposely piss off Russians. Never. I will never. Never.
Oh man, you're knocking the Russians. That's a big mistake, mate. Russians give you the best blowjobs, and that's coming from experience. That's experience, mate.
See, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, yo. And I was thinking, I was like, you know what?
Same with the Polish.
I told myself, I was like,
same with the Polish.
I was like, I'll never mess with an Indian. You know what I mean? And my reason is this, not because in anything in particular. I had a friend when I was in high school. No, when I was in elementary, excuse me. And the parents hated my guts. So that kind of like stayed in my brain. I was like, man, that shit fucked up, man. Mm-hmm. You know, they called me like some Indian word, like Hindu word that meant demon. Huh? I used to bite my pencil and shit like that. And they thought that was demonic. So I was like, that was fucked up. And then I was like thinking to myself, like I psyched myself out. I was like, I'm not gonna talk to any Indian chicks because they don't want me anyway. And I was like, I don't like them motherfuckers anyway. Fuck them, right? And then I started seeing that shit like more and more often. And I'm like, you know, they could probably spice my life up.
I mean, to be fair, right? If they thought you were demonic, I'd have fucked the daughters just on purpose to say that they were possessed. There you go, you cunt.
It was like
he's right on that one.
Hold on, bro. He's talking about elementary, bro. Hold on.
I'm talking about elementary.
Elementary.
I didn't hear the elementary.
Although, as I got older, when I was older, you know what I mean? It was a couple baddies. I was like, and then like my current job, right? I have an Indian manager, you know? And she used to always joke around me. She was like, Josh, you got to put on the shirt. I don't like it when you come in here with the wife beater. Put your shirt on it. And I was like, yo, that accent kind of hot, yo. I can imagine that. You know, your brain kind of goes somewhere and shit. I was like, you know what I mean? I was thinking to myself, I was like, it'd be kind of lit, though, when she, you say I'm smashing them shits, right? She'd be like, oh, sprinkled a little curry on it. It was hot. I was like, oh, that shit hot. I was like, I gotta try it. Sprinkled a little curry on it. It's hot. Who's hot? I was like, yo, that shit be lit, though. I ain't gonna lie.
But my brother in Christ. What
the fuck? This is what happens when I'm online too fucking long, yo, and burnt out brain wise. Let me get the fuck out of here, man. People will get mad at me. You want to cancel them? So what? I like a girl to sprinkle a little curry on it. Shut the fuck up. That ain't racist. That's extra. I see the cool to pain, hot to relax away in seconds, bitch. Shit, damn. Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
Well, thank you guys for joining my space. I really appreciate that. No I bet problem. y'all didn't see that this. Y'all thought this shit was gonna be a malignant ass space, didn't y'all? Y'all thought I was gonna be crying and copium, didn't you? You thought I was gonna be straight copium in this bitch.
Nah,
I know y'all did.
I saw your other tweets. So I was like, nah. You're just asking the question.
Yeah, well, I bet you, I guarantee you, a lot of people that saw this shit, they was like, this motherfucker, he's copium. He's bad. He gonna sell his PS5. No, bitch.
Those are people that
like a mother.
Those are like people that were. Those are people that were in here for 5 minutes and dipped.
Yeah, I
like,
saw
it's not. Oh, that's not the type of time. Oh, I'm out.
No, I saw a couple of them. I'm surprised. Oh no, is Alex didn't pop in this bitch, yo, because he did it the last time, yo. When I was like, should I buy a PC? Them up or crept up in this bitch. Yo, it was like, what do you mean? What the fuck you mean? What I mean? Should I buy a PC? That's what it is. What do you mean? So yeah, that's what he was saying. But I know a lot of people was kind of pissed off with that shit, yo. They came in there and expected something totally fucking different, and then that shit was totally different. Like I was asking the question because I feel like it needs to be talked about. There's a use for all the things there. Unfortunately, people are not going to like it. You're going to have to get with the program or just stop playing games because Nintendo is going to do this shit eventually. But I think Nintendo, they're going to go to cell phones instead of actual computers. That's what I believe.
They got some banging
mobile games or something. I forget from where.
They have like Mario Run, I think it's called. Like they made bank off mobile already.
Yeah,
so they got their little things there.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's probably what's going on and what would happen, but we'll see. I guarantee you, if the Switch failed, them motherfuckers would have been straight to fucking to mobile, straight to mobile, straight to mobile.
There's a great market in that. Like, look at Genshin Impact. They're making bank within 1 year of making the game.
Sony looking at that shit too. They're like, we're gonna put our fucking toe in that shit too. Fucking these mobile games. Fuck out of here with that shit, yo. Honestly, look, it is what it is. Like, if people want a medium where, like I said, the console cap is about 250 million at max. Period. That's what it is. 250 million.
Mm-hmm. In terms of people, it's more like 150.
Well, I said at max.
Well, I guess maximum.
You know what I mean? Because think about it, right? The PlayStation 2, so I'm rounding it off, 150 million, right?
Yeah.
The Xbox and the GameCube was at 20 million a piece. You know what I'm saying? So about 200 million. But then you had the Wii U. I'm sorry, you had the the Wii, which was 90 million. The PlayStation was 80, and then the Xbox, which was also 80. A whole bunch of fucking versions of that bitch. So I guess 200 million. I was being nice. So 200 million, and it never grew from that point. It never grew up out of all the shit. It refuses to grow.
I mean, I would probably guarantee you most of those people just own multiple consoles, rather than it being sectioned off like that. I mean,
well, I know it's not going to be sectioned off. I'm just saying, at best case scenario, right? The thing is, like Nintendo, even though Nintendo has a lot of fucking, but their games are very cheap to make, right? Good, they're great games, but they're cheap to make. Fine, I take that, right? Sony's isn't.
Margin.
Sony's isn't. They barely get a fucking profit off their shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, their games are getting more expensive every gen.
Yep, and people want the same type of quality, and they don't. They're like a lot of irrational fanboys want the same. Like they want it to be. You know what I'm saying? They want it to be. It's stupid to me. It's real dumb that they want it to be like it's free. Like people are working as a charity. You know what I mean? I think Sick Humor said this shit too. He said, "Work for free. You work for free at your job."
Are you saying? Oh, you're saying because basically instead of
because people are asking Sony and Microsoft and everybody else to basically work for free. And then if you try to question it, you get gaslit to saying that you're a corporate shill. No, it's not. These people have a fucking livelihood.
What do they want? They want the games to be free, or you mean like if it was in a service? Like
they were saying like putting AAA games on a fucking platform. That's you know, I mean, that's not sustainable. Especially for Sony. You only got so many, you know, it'd be a waste of money.
Different sizes. Different size companies on there.
So that's what it boils down to. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. Unfortunately, people, you know, I know that the PS2 did 157. I was just rounding the shit off, but like you got people that would actually say shit like that, and it's like, well, come on, Sony, put all this shit without thinking about the ramifications of what that would mean. And then they're like, how come games are $70? Did you fucking see when you look at CGI, right?
Yeah.
That CGI is not a whole fucking continent with details, little details and shit like that. It's only for that localized area for that scene, right?
I mean,
and it still costs millions and millions of dollars to make CGI props and movies and shit like that. What these developers are making, they have to make whole worlds with physics systems and wind properties and this and that. And people want this shit to look just like a fucking CGI movie, but for less money that a CGI movie costs. Like, it's like, the fuck are y'all doing, yo?
Now I'll tell you one of my problems with $70 games. I won't get into the whole tirade, but one of my problems is like it's not just the fact that Sony's games are $70. It's everyone's following that trend. Everyone's gonna eventually follow that trend.
It wasn't a trend for Sony though. It was everybody was going to do that shit.
I mean, for me though, I feel like Sony didn't really need to do it because they take like 30% in the store as well. So I mean, for them,
no, they definitely don't. They don't.
They don't need it, but they're just. I mean, if they're gonna do it and it still sells, then I mean that's just
the game. But I will say this: the games that they make are super fucking expensive. Like people may say what they want.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But some of the animations that they have, like face animations that they have for Horizon, which is an open world game, looks fucking ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Like, yeah, absolutely. Their games are expensive, but it's like I just look at it like, well, obviously the industry got together and decided on that price point. Sony actually wanted it to go even higher than $70.
That's fine. I mean, well, I don't
but
know. The $70 thing.
Yeah, imagine if it was $80.
But I'm just worried for like EA and like all these other corporations.
No, but they're going to do it.
But yeah,
they're going to do it. They're going to do it. But guess how much money that Sony made from Horizon? You know what I mean, in those games. Do you think they're making the same amount of money as Nintendo? You know.
No, Sony makes more money than Nintendo. I mean, well, in their totality, they make more money. I'm not sure how much specifically that game makes versus Nintendo's profit versus, I don't know. Because, I mean, Nintendo keeps their games at $60 for 5 years straight. They don't give a fuck. So I don't know. And they sell like 30 million. So I can't really say.
I can't believe that Ghost of Tsushima didn't sell more than 10 million. That shit is outrageous.
Yeah, that game is fantastic.
You know what I mean?
All I'll say is, I'm just glad that $70 games is more of a console thing. And fuck Square Enix for trying to start it. I hope Forspoken flops. That's it.
Oh shoot!
Oh no! You know what's going to happen? You know that they said it was. You know what's going to happen though?
What?
Just because you said that, yo, you are a racist. you just wanted to flop because she's black. How dare you?
It's true, bro. I can't talk to you anymore. You're canceled.
Yeah, you're right. Don't mind my profile pic. Don't mind my profile pic. I'm racist.
Yeah, you already heard what happened on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, but on Twitter, where the guy claimed that he was black, so he could say the N-word, and he was about as white as snow.
You want about Chris J?
Oh
man, Chris J.
I don't even want to get into all that.
I was like, no, I know, but I'm just saying.
Leave my man's alone. I don't know that. I stood out of that shit.
I don't know.
I got my. I will say this. I guess I want to be. I guess I want to be a coon, right? Because I have a couple friends that do. I have a couple friends that do.
Fucking hand.
I have a couple friends. I'm gonna say this. That's terrible, but there's a couple friends that do say it that are not black. So.
I mean, that's a completely different conversation. I mean, I don't. As long as it's not ER and I'm cool with the person, I don't really give a fuck. Like if I'm cool with you, I don't care. Like
I don't really care what comes out of anybody's mouth as long as it ain't malice behind it. Like if somebody, like for Joe Rogan, he was reading something with the N-word in there, people try to cancel him. You shouldn't even say it. I'm like, okay.
Now the way the media was trying to cancel him, oh my god, they were using every tactic.
I mean, I don't even like Joe Rogan like that, but even now I'm not like.
I was like, that's a bit strong. Well,
yeah, because I was listening to those and it was like,
think about what happened with Johnny with Johnny Depp, right? Like that motherfucker. Jeez, I just want to say this, and I'll close this shit out. It's fucking crazy what happened to homie.
Yeah, man.
This dude got canceled for no reason.
Canceled off of Twitter, and she didn't even file a police report or anything.
I know, bro.
Just canceled from Twitter. And
Disney was like, no. Disney was like, no, you gotta no more of these movies, no more of this. Everybody just turned, and they just now said that Amber scenes have been deleted from that movie.
Good.
I heard that was not. I heard that was
about to do horribly if they hadn't taken her out.
I heard that was not confirmed nor denied.
I heard it's confirmed.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't looked at it since for 12 hours.
Even if she makes a decent amount of money, she's got to give it to Johnny though, because I think she owes him like 13 or 12 mil for that case.
I saw after.
Yeah, but you can break that shit down. You don't have to pay it all in one lump.
After,
I don't know the rules with it. But.
Yeah, she was awarded $2 million for a comment that basically someone on Johnny's team basically said, but so she basically has to pay him it's $8.35 million.
Ooh, right.
And if she cannot pay it, then good luck with that.
Well, she's going to make a pledge for it, isn't she? She's going to pledge it to him. We know that
she's going to pledge it to him. And and she might get hit on some perjury. She might get hit on some perjury charge when she was in the UK. She lied on the stand.
And here's the thing,
let's try and work out how long it's going to take.
It was like blatant lie.
That bill off. Yeah, because let's face it, all Amber Heard is good for now is being nothing more than a fucking greeter at Walmart. Let's face it. All she's good for.
Basically. I'll say this, yo. If she want her money back, yo, Amber, if you're listening.
No.
Well, I didn't say nothing.
If the initials OF are the two are of the first two of the two words that you're gonna use, I swear to God, don't even say her name and give her the idea, bro.
I'll give her a 10.
Don't do it.
How much do you think she would doing that though?
Bro,
I'll give her a 10. I'll give her a 10.
She'd make that fucking money. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
She'd make that fucking money.
She would, even though everyone hates her. She'd make.
I would be like, well, let me see what Johnny was working with. Let me see what she looked like.
Let me see what he was working with.
Was it really that important? Was it that important to get your fingers sliced off? What was this?
Well, I mean, let's face it.
What was this witchcraft? What is this?
It wasn't just Johnny Depp that was dipping into it, though, was it? I mean, would you really want to share the same pie as Elon Musk? Come on.
No, I didn't say I didn't say I wanted to do anything. I was just curious to see what it looked like. I'm just curious. Look,
like
I'm helping her out.
down there,
look,
dog.
believe our women.
That shit, she got all.
Oh God, you just sipping now. Please no.
It's a circus down there.
I'm curious, yo. I'm curious. She had that militant ass fucking uniform, yo. I was like, if she really wanted to, win the case. That wasn't the appropriate
Did
attire.
you see
That's
how
all I'm
she was
saying.
dressed as Dr. Evil one day?
She's coming in here looking like Captain Crunch and shit. Like, the fuck is this shit? What is this? Just like a pirate and shit. That's why she ain't get shit. All right, we get the fuck out of here, yo. Thank you, guys.
No problem. Hope you get another space like this. It's fun.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Yeah,
all right.
Space.
I try to up the ante, yo.
I was just gonna say last thing. Imagine. I was just gonna say last thing. Imagine having a productive conversation, bro. That's all I'm saying.
On Twitter, bro, that's
Gamecast. Last time the spaces kind of fucking erupted, but just having a productive conversation, people get to listen to other people's opinions. Imagine that.
I don't even know.
I typically try to allow people to say what they need to say or whatever the case is, whatever. There's some exceptions. I had my reasoning for allowing that to happen, but I see where he was coming from, though. You know what I mean? He was on the side of it. It doesn't look that much better, so why pay that much money? So but that's your pockets, though.
And I wasn't even allowed to explain why I felt that way
because
he would interject and then
trolling.
Bro, he wouldn't allow me to explain anything, and then he would interject and then talk for 4 minutes without letting me talk. So I started to troll. Like I told him what my PC was in my PC. I said 5900X and a 3080, but he didn't listen to that originally because he was too busy just trying to talk. He was too busy trying to talk instead of listen. I could have easily just told him why I play on PC, but no, he's just unga bunga. Let me say that you're dumb PC player. Oh, you can't afford a 4K monitor. Unga bunga. Talk for 5 minutes without allowing me to elaborate. So yes, I trolled because we're not gonna have a productive conversation if you're not gonna allow me to talk. So this is pointless. I'm just gonna make fun of you.
Be a bigger man.
I'm just gonna make fun of you instead. It's content.
Be a big. It was all content though, and I know Thrash has been. He talked to so many trolls just to let you know. He got a short fuse for that shit, yo. He tired of the nonsense. But he shouldn't have done that.
That's not my problem.
He shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done that at all. It would have been a lot. But it is. It's a lot of fucking. I have love for the dude because I wanted to actually go on the Porter Rock show, right? And Porter Rock was like, "You're a couple shades too dark to be on my podcast." So
what the fuck? Hey yo. What the?
He was like, "You gotta like Goya to be on my podcast or some shit." I don't know. So
the fuck?
No, but honestly, I did hit up Porter Rock in the and the DMs and ask him. This was years ago, man. This is like 4 years ago. I was like, this is when he was really small on the YouTube space, and he was mentioning some good points and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, he had some other people on the show, and I was like, hey, could you do whatever? And he ignored that shit altogether, yo. I was like, well, you fuck bitch. But I also was listening to Thrash too, and Thrash has some valid points and shit like that. But he says it in such a way where people can grasp that shit, because there's a lot of people that don't want to hear no intelligent talking and shit like that. They want to hear motherfucker this and you a bitch that. That's what they want to hear. So, but I did hit up Thrash and I was like, hey, could you I wanted to have a thing, and he let me on the show immediately. So I got love for the dude, and I know that the dude's a nice guy and shit like that. But like dealing with a lot of these X-bots or fake, like there's a lot of infiltration when it comes to PC gamers. Some people are not PC gamers; they're fucking X-bots that bought a PC and want to claim that. I had a friend, he bought a PS3 for $600 just to say that he's a neutral. He don't even play He didn't play the PS3 ever. He would play the PS3 for like 4 minutes just to see the graphics. He never finished anything.
Wonder how.
And then he was so bad. And then he would actually his PSN name was like Xbox Rules or some shit like that. So like you bought a $600 console just to do that, you know, and that's what's going on
like
here
looking
too.
on the PSN like networks, all the things. God damn it!
Yeah, my only problem with that is just like actually have the conversation to grasp what you're dealing with. Don't just assume and just just go off on the fucking deep end. You know, like
No, it could have easily been handled way better than that.
He asked me a question, I'll answer it. Like
I came in there, I was gonna give Cody the smoke when he was in this bitch, yo. I was like, this nigga said it's collecting dust, yo. I had to put on my fucking white voice. I was like, hi, hello. I can't say. I was like, I can't say nigga or nothing, yo. I was like, so tell me how you feel about your PC. Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's interesting. And then I start realizing that this dude, fascinating. I rub my nipples to that information. No, but like he made like some compelling points, and you know it's always good to have the. It was really compelling. It was genuine too. I was like, this is a smart motherfucker. I'm trying to hit this motherfucker in all corners here. I'm like, yo, what's your? I was like, let me have a monitor. Well, what's your monitor? Because I was gonna hit him with that shit too. He was like, oh, I use my TV. I was like, fuck.
Nope.
So good.
I was like, what kind of computer were you playing back then? He wouldn't give me the information readily because he was on the defense too. And he eventually told me that he had a laptop. I was like, well, what game are you playing right now? When you had that PC, what were you playing back then? And what frame rate was it? What was the frame rate, sir? He was like, yo, he was like, here's the thing. He was like, I was a console player. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really give a fuck about it. I had a laptop. But when I got a PS5 and had the TV, the PS5 gave me a taste of, some decent performance. And I ended up, I was going to do it anyway, but it kind of pushed me over the edge and I did it. How could the fuck can I argue with that?
Yeah.
It's the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it boiled down to. I was like, I can't get mad at him for that shit. Yo, that's the truth. Because people can look at me as being stupid, saying that you don't got the best experience. I'm not looking for the fucking best experience. You know what I mean? I'm looking for convenience, and you can't get mad at any of those. What do you call it? Those methods and shit like that. You can't get mad at it. If somebody wants convenience over getting drivers or something don't work here and there, like when Lincoln Clay came in there talking about some, I'm not going to buy another PS5 again or another PlayStation. That's cool. It won't be me.
Yeah. And that's why they're still going to sell PlayStations, whether games come to PC or not. They're still going to sell them.
I like the aesthetics. Like people buy Switch, they're not expecting Switch to be a fucking. That's not that convenient. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the best control system there. The controller sucks in terms of like the
that D-pad. That D-pad fucking sucks. Fuck that shit. The OG, the regular, that shit's terrible.
That shit don't even run well. People say, it's exclusives. And to be honest with you, I'm not a Nintendo fan either. I don't think that those games deserve that type of, but I can't get mad at somebody that likes it. I realize that people like to eat booty. I will never eat booty. But that's your preference. Okay. I can't get mad at you. So each their own. I mean, what can I say? That's what you like, bon appetit, nigga. Shit.
At the end of the day, it's always people out there that's gonna take convenience over, enthusiast stuff. That's just like a dude who's gonna go out and buy a Honda is not gonna go buy a Nissan GTR Skyline. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
It's just different. You know what I mean?
You got your own reason for it. Sometimes it's swag. I got a 370Z. And there's many cars that are better than that. And I know all the little flaws. That car don't have no kind of grip. No kind of grip. But
I bet that motherfucker get up, though.
When it's dry, when it's real dry, it does. When it start raining, I drive Miss Daisy up in this bitch. I gotta be slow as hell. People looking at this is a sports car. Why you driving 2 miles an hour? You just a cocky motherfucker. I'm like, this car is not even that fucking. This is a $20,000 car, yo. Relax. It's not even that deep. It looks expensive, but it's not. And everybody's like, you know what I mean? Like, I know my flaws and shit like that, even with consoles. I know like all the shit that's going there. I ain't mad at this shit. There's things I can put up with and things. And, you know, if you're married or have a girlfriend, I know you don't love that bitch the whole way through. And, you know, there's some nips and tucks that she can do. You know what I mean? But you love her just the same shit. Like, you know, I mean, people can have their preference. It's cool to have their preference. I just don't like online the stupid rhetoric of this being better than that and that being better than this, and you stupid for wanting to do that. I won't even call an Xbox stupid. Just what they say is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me to buy a game console just for customer service. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
That's wild.
You know, it's look. I swear, yo. Bless. I'm gonna send you that video, yo. I couldn't believe my ears. I didn't say anything. I just was like, listen. I was like, that is fascinating.
I mean,
what was the last? I was like, what's the last game you played? He was like, well, I don't really play games like that, you know.
So why would you need customer service if you're not playing anything?
I mean, at the end of the day, he probably got his own reason. I mean, that's just like some people like Apple just for being Apple.
That's why I said
iPhone. So you know what I mean. Like,
he likes his friends are probably on it. His friends are probably on it. That's the
he could probably have made a better argument. I don't know why. I mean
that's what I was trying to figure out. He could
like friends. All you need is like my friends are on it. That's really all you need. That's really all you need as an argument.
Not to say that I need it. I don't need to have that argument, but I will say, I mean, if you're going to make an argument, just make the fucking argument. You know, just say that. That's the reason why. You can't try to dress it up. You know what I mean? Put lipstick on a pig and say that the reason why is because my console broke, which it shouldn't have fucking broke. We're talking about a Series X, and you didn't even have it for a year, and it broke. And somehow Phil Spencer landed on your roof and came down in a grappling,
Mission Impossible,
grappling hook, whatever the case is. It was like, sir, I'll give you a new one, and just let me. In the meantime, let me just take this one, and folded that shit up and flew away. Like I don't think that happened. You know, I don't think that's.
Well, you gotta look at it. At the end of the day, power is nothing but for the keys to show it all. You know what I mean? All that power ain't showing for a game that's gonna show it all. So
yeah, I mean, if you like, and look, if you like the fucking Xbox, you know, that's fine. What's going on, Game of Night? What's going on, Fatal? Like, if you like it, that's fine. I'm not going to give up my PlayStation because I like the convenience. Everything's there. I don't have to worry about specs. Right, I don't got to worry about specs. And you want to know something? This is going to be really weird, yo. Y'all going to get mad at me for saying this, but it's the truth. Fucking PlayStation 5 looks like a pussy if you look at it. No, I'm playing. I'm sorry.
RoboCop.
Right? You need to get out of here. You be all you gotta get up out of here, bro.
No. So the reason why, right?
Yeah.
Is a long time ago I was programming. I used to program, right? And it was always fascinating to try to get my Texas Instrument calculator to do things that it wasn't supposed to do. You can make it play Tetris. You could make it do all sorts of weird shit if you knew how to program it for it.
Can do it. I played Doom on that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was really cool. So when I would look into, because I wanted to be a game developer, so when I looked into playing like a PlayStation 1 back in the day, I looked at the specs and tried to figure out what created the graphics on the screen. That's what I did. So I was like, all right, cool. Let me see what it is. The system can only do like 100,000. No, it could do 300,000 polygons a second, right?
Yeah.
That's what the PS1 could do, and the N64 could do 150,000 polygons. The difference was that those textures were filtered, and they had perspective correction, so you didn't get like the wobbling textures and shit like that. And I just kind of I find it fascinating that you could literally look at the strengths and weaknesses and play upon them. You know what I'm saying? Like PS2 couldn't do like per pixel effects. You know what I'm saying? Like normal maps and shit like that. It had to use the polygons to figure out where the light was coming from instead of the actual pixels. So you did at the end of his life cycle with the Path of Neo, it had normal maps when it shouldn't have. But that was the lore to it. They were making these consoles, these limited consoles, do things that they shouldn't do, and that's the lore for me. I like it's interesting to see how far they can put something. It's kind of like modding your Honda Civic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that the car can only go but so fast, but you buy this and that. It's to me it's interesting that aspect to it. I know you can do it on PC, but you can make the PC into whatever the fuck you want to. I'm interested in pushing that limited hardware or how people are doing it, finding innovative ways of pushing it. So that's one of the reasons why I like console gaming, and I was never affected by performance that badly because I played Shadow of the Colossus. That shit was running at 10 frames a second, and I had no problem. I was like, bro, I used to think back in the day when explosions happened, I thought that shit was trying to emulate the Matrix back in the day. No, nigga, that shit was just slowing down. It couldn't handle all of the effects. When something blew up, I was like, "Ooh, the Matrix! Look at it! It slowed down like the what did the Matrix?" It couldn't render the polygons, and I'm sorry, it couldn't render the particles on the screen. So the game was just fucking slow to a crawl. I didn't know that at the time, but I learned it. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it was back in the day. Like I thought it was cinematic. Back then, it just looked cool to me. I was like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? Or when you see the game, to me, I was like, "Yo, this is a good ass game." You know, this game is pushing this horror to the limits. You can slow down. I didn't know back then you can make a shitty game and cripple any system, PC or not. I had no idea, but I was like, you could tell they really working hard. Cause look how this shit's sweating. This is a good game. I don't know. I was stupid. So,
Yeah, but whether people want to admit it or not, I mean, the consoles are PCs. They just specifically designed to do one thing versus
That's
PC
true.
that's designed to do everything. You know what I mean? So I don't understand it. You playing a PC? You know what I mean? It's just a closed environment PC. Like you can know because I can't see.
It's a prefab. That's all it is.
Right. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why people get mad at PC. Shit, you a part of the PC race too. Whether you like it or not.
You just
y'all niggas
prefab.
get updates and some more shit too. So
the controllers had the controller had firmware updates. I was like, why though?
No
We want to make your experience extra good. That haptic feedback, you gonna feel the waters. I was like, oh, word? Okay.
Hey, look, the DualSense is nice though, man. Shit. Because when I first got my PS5, I played the shit out of Astros, man.
That was nice. A lot of games really work well. Yo, before we jump up, Jesus. I swear I be trying to make these shits. I was this shit to be an hour and a half, yo. Nope. Reckon, before we go, what you guys say? Yo, Reckon. The motherfucker's like, fuck yo. Fuck you,
whoever has the Raziel profile, your profile looks creepy, not gonna lie.
The what?
Raziel, listener.
That's her
yeah. That is creepy.
That's her that's the Aloy thing, yo.
Yo, that gives me nightmares, bro.
Yeah. I guess
Yo, Reckon, go on, man.
The main thing that I just wanted to say on the topic and the interesting development specifically in the future development of these types of experiences, specifically you're on Twitter, have a look at AI generated art, and there is a lot of movement on those types of art and asset creation. So, and there's that discussion about machine learning and how it's going to change. But if you guys are interested, search up Mid Journey. I can actually share a few things in relation to that, the arts that are being created, and also if you have a smartphone, you can easily download. It's called Dream by Wombi. and you can do prompts like specifically if you're interested in gaming related art. You can do a screenshot and do a prompt, and out of that screenshot that you've generated, you can create another form of different art out of it. So I just wanted to share something creative for with the people that are listening in, and I can see that there are a lot of open world games that are coming out. And one of the interesting things is with those, it can be generated out of the system, randomly generated. Of course, we all know how No Man's Sky was created. It would be interesting how those tools are utilized going into the future. And specifically to what is the point of any system, it is to experience the uniqueness out of it. And I think that's how I would tie it back to the system. Like, what is the unique thing about the PlayStation 5? It is the DualSense. It is going to be PSVR 2, or it is Astrobot, or the exclusives that usually come out. When
but it's going to come on. It's going to come out on PC though. Eventually, even the DualSense has like support.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, as a result, it will start you losing that uniqueness out of it, right? And I think this is one of the perfect examples. If you remember how Ubisoft suddenly they were really creative, right? This just the boundary, boundary pushing ideas was coming out of that publisher and studio, and they found success. And now what they do is cookie cutter stuff. So, and the dangers of it is like and I think this is one of the fundamentals issues that we have with these systems is when they reach a certain point, they lose the creative side out of it. And I think the rage against the machine, or whatever you want to call it, that, people who say, you can't let these exclusive go somewhere else. I think there's a fundamental fear of that they're going to lose their creativity out of it. Like Returnal.
Here we back. Returnal what? You're breaking up. Hello.
His shit might have died.
That dude was waiting so long, he died.
His internet connection was like, I'm gonna head out.
It was like, I waited for, what is this, 74 years? That shit terrible, yo. I'm gonna ask him to retweet the shit, because I was really interested in what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
Because I want to get his thing.
Yeah.
That's a shame. So I'm gonna tell him that he got out of here. I'm gonna pack this shit up.